We're live.
Oh.
So now we need to
Okay.
go and listen to it and make sure we.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here. Holy testing. 1, 2, 3. Now you talk.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Now let me go and hear it and see if that sounds good.
Yeah. Paging ground control, Mr. Tom.
Paging ground control. Copyright. Control chaos square. Why isn't it telling me?
Yeah,
that?
I'm on the.
You're not seeing it yet?
Yeah, nothing.
Oh no, I got it on my end.
Oh, is it? Oh, is it?
Oh yeah, perfect.
Oh, all right, Houston, we have no problems.
Oh yeah, are you hearing it now on your end now?
Yeah, yes, I can see it playing and everything.
Oh
my God.
How's the audio?
Oh
Sound
my
good?
God. Yes, let me. Look, I hear anything. Oh yeah, I can hear it. There we go.
And you're loud enough?
Myself again.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go tweet on both our ends, on
Yeah.
my and your Twitter, that we're fucking finally live.
Oh my God.
Guys, we'll wait a little bit, and then we're gonna tell
Yeah.
the story of the trials and tribulations we've been through.
We experienced the despair that Zephido Meru was speaking about. It was wild. It was crazy.
It's truly, yeah. It was the despair that. What was your joke? I want to make sure I don't copy your despair joke. I didn't actually.
Yeah, like we experienced the despair of technical difficulties.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say. I can't remember what manga has like a big despair theme. Like, does Bleach go into despair a lot?
No, I mean Danganronpa is the only major.
I think I was thinking of in Hunter x Hunter. There's a part where Neferpitou turns around and like the kanji for malice is behind her, and I'm just imagining that, but with our technical difficulties, and the kanji for despair. Yeah. Okay, let's tweet, squad. Paging ground control. Gonna kill myself. Okay. We're finally live. Holy crap, Lois. No. Holy shit, that was awful. Please come and support us. I hate technical difficulties so much. Holy fuck. Wow. Anyway.
All right, I blasted my social media.
Blasted out.
Like 50. Yeah, there's like 50 people.
Okay. Holy crap. How do I should probably link the thing as well. Let me link it. Okay, we're still doing good. And then let me link, and then we can finally get the fuck going. Oh, fuck, man. Man, streamers are right. This is a hard job. They do deserve to get paid more than janitors.
Oh yeah. Well, okay, maybe not more.
I'm kidding. I hope, just to clarify, I hope you know.
I understand, but we need to make sure the viewers understand.
I would hope that I like to hope that the audience that we've cultivated, knows. But yeah, for sure. Okay, goddamn. Kill me. I assume you're keeping an eye on the chat in case anything comes in? Alright, cool. Welcome! Guys, that was awful. Sorry for being an hour and a half late. It's my first day. To steal a joke from Daniel Rustage. Why did it just go back to Skype? Why did the call just end? What's going on? Hello? Mr. Obama? What's going on? No, don't turn the fucking camera on! Are you shitting me? Awkward. Bro, what the hell?
Can you hear me?
I can. What happened?
I got a call right when you started. I tried to cancel it.
Bro.
I guess I accidentally canceled.
You have no idea. I was like, all right, finally, everything's working now. And then
I'm like, no, I can't be the one that screws it up.
Oh my god.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, let me just make sure that
we are ready.
Everything's
good. We are ready.
Okay. Whew! All right, guys. Yeah, so basically, I made the foolish error of daring to update my my OBS. I was like, you know what? I haven't updated my OBS since like 2019. I'll give it a shot. Why? What could go wrong? Everything went wrong. And then I needed a new driver. And then Discord just wasn't. So then we had to go to Skype. And it was just... Oof. So here we are.
Technology is a Jenga tower, and moving one piece will cause the whole thing to collapse, just like that one time when Akko pulled out one piece of Jenga and the whole thing collapsed.
Was it when Akko pulled out? Giggity? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Rentaro... Alright, you know what? I'm not gonna... Rentaro will never pull out! Because none of them will let him. Alright, yeah, really, here we are. Backstory. Who is this guy, you may be asking? You guys remember? Not that I haven't fucking introduced you this way like 30 million times already, but the guy who drew us fucking Makima. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, is I
Rios the Hermit?
Yeah.
Is that what
Yes. Yeah. A writer, illustrator. I do erotic content.
But most importantly, porn artist extraordinaire. Yes. I really do like the theme of our channel specifically drawing in porn artists. Because do you know Fuya?
Oh yeah.
You actually know Fuya?
Well, I know of them.
You follow him?
Yeah.
You know, he's like, for a while at least, he was a big fan of our channel too. Like back during our heyday.
Mm-hmm.
He even like tweeted out and like shouted us out, and that guy's like legit. Like he's got like hentai. You know, you've made it when someone's like stolen your work and put it on hentai for free.
Oh my lord.
Wait, honestly, Rios, if you want to get you some clout, I'll yoink some of your stuff and slap it on hentai.
Ooh. Well, I don't think I have anything. Hentai is for like comics, ain't it?
That's true. Yeah, we got to make your first comic.
Well, I have plans for that, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay, please make 100 Girlfriends comic with every girl.
Oh my god, that would be. I would die with it, but.
You know what my favorite type is? Because now that I know a porn artist, I'm just gonna like. You ever watch the movie Inception where they like go inside of a guy to like implant the idea? I'm gonna every day we talk, I'm gonna just subtly, subconsciously fucking plant this idea into your head because I want it to exist. Okay, because this is the kind of hentai I like. Okay, I like the kind of hentai where it's like a guy who's like, because you know how like the thing with guys is that like. Libido wise we want to fuck, but like once we nut we're basically done, which is unfortunate. And then women can like orgasm a bunch of times in a row. It's kind of the vibe in those hentai.
Yeah, the general.
Yeah, so but I like the ones where it's like this particular guy though, he's like a man among men. He can nut like he's got like endless libido, so he needs like 60 women to like burn through. Right. I would love like Rentaro. I don't know, like
I mean he probably said like tantric techniques, and he knows how to like control his orgasms, like retrograde ejaculation. So it's like,
dude, it's like no, it would be like because Rentaro's whole thing, his like purpose in life is to please his girls, and he's gonna.
He would totally like go on some vision quest with like a guru to learn how to control his like semen production and everything.
There's a Death Note hentai that I used to read a lot where it's Light fucking Misa. And you know how like, and it actually did it like in the style of Death Note where like as he's fucking, Light's having this like inner monologue.
Oh my lord.
No, it was so good because you know Light, he's not like, he doesn't give a fuck about women. He's all about like his plan. So like as he's fucking Misa, he's like, I have to make sure not to come too fast, otherwise she might label me as a premature ejaculator and then she'll out me as Kira. So he's like going through this whole plan in his head where he's like, I gotta make sure she comes at least 3 times so that she sticks with me and I can use her like Shinigami eyes. So like, but I'm imagining that, but for like wholesome reasons for Rentaro. Rentaro's like, I got 30 girls here and I will be damned if not every one of them has a mind-blowing orgasm by my hand.
He's like Hakari, he wants to orgasm like 5 different times, so I have to make sure I hit her this specific spot, or otherwise I'll orgasm too quickly. And
I like the idea that Hakari's trying to hog him because she'd be first in line. Hakari's trying to hog him, and then all the other girls just like pounce on her, like, "Bitch, you've already had one. It's my turn." There's so many good ideas for this, like, and I like that route. You could do the like he's just trying to like please them. You could also do the oopsie daisy, he accidentally drank like a lust enhancing drug from Kusari.
The fucking otter. What was
exactly. That, but it actually happens. Yeah. Okay, so here's the vibe for today. Okay, We've got count 'em, two tier lists to do. Mostly because Rios wanted to do this one, and I wanted to do the traditional one, so we're doing both. Rios, do you want to explain for the lovely viewers at home what all of these ranks are?
So yeah, over the course of my read-through of 180 chapters of
which he did in like the last 4 or 5 months all at once, basically, yeah.
I basically put together this little, like, I guess, category list rather than a tier list of, like, what kind of relationship would you have with each of the girlfriends? So, I mean, I guess in the S rank, I guess, is like soulmate, which is basically what you think it is. It's the partner who connects with you on a deep, intimate, emotional level, you know, stuff songs written about. And then we have, like, sort of like these, I guess, like, extensions that people have made, like, there's mind mates, playmates, helpmates. So, mind mate, someone who connects more on, like, an intellectual level, you know, someone who you have stimulating intellectual conversations about, like, say, politics, philosophy, current events, you know, just whatever, the kind of thing where you can just talk for hours about whatever is your, like, I guess, fixation or whatever, hyper fixation. Playmates is more of a, like, focus on, I guess, fun, like, I'm not sure how that different from other stuff, but, you know, like, sense of humor, cracking jokes, just anything that's more, like, adventure oriented, I guess, would be playmates. Helpmates is someone sharing sort of a common life goal, vision for the future, kind of help each other maintain a home or build a career or any sort of, like, big life project, that kind of thing. Friend zone is kind of, I mean,
self-explanatory, right? Like, I'm not dating you, but we can hang out and play video games.
Yeah. You got the family zone, just the same thing. Just like, oh, you're like a big brother to me. You're like a little sister to me.
So what in your mind would distinguish friend and family, right? Because, like, what are you doing with friends that you aren't doing with family, and vice versa? What are you doing with family that you aren't doing with friends? Right. No, I'm not trying to I'm like to clarify, like, what would be the distinction there?
I mean, I think.
Damn.
Like, I have a feeling for it. Like, this might be like going ahead too quickly. But, like, for me, I consider Shizuka more friend zone, where Kyo is more like family zone. Like, I don't know if I would be, like, friends with Kyo. I can see, like, the I guess, like, the
okay, so someone that you'd go to, like, I don't know, to, like, the bar and drink with versus someone that you'd go to, like like a fancy or like an event together. Like, oh, you know, I see her once a year at like Christmas type thing. Is that what you're saying?
Like, I guess, like, the energy of your relationship is more platonic versus more familial kind of thing.
Okay, because to me, what separates family from friend is, like, the obligation that you have to see them, you know, versus like I don't really want to, but it's not like I hate them either. You know, like I see them like once or twice a year. That's family for me. I'm not much of a family guy personally.
Yeah, same here. But I don't know. I mean, this might be one where it's better to kind of start ranking girls accordingly, because I know who I would rank. It's like family zone versus friend zone. Like,
well, while you were talking about this, I went to our Discord chat and I got to where you were typing out how it works. Yeah. And then frenemies and then enemy. Yeah. So so this is like a more nebulous one. And then I wanted to also have, like, the letters because I was curious on, like, his thoughts on all of them. So I guess
like we can begin.
So we've got our first girl. Hakari. He's better with the names. I got fucking nicknames for all of them.
Oh, you still have Discord up on the.
Oh, screen. For you do. You give it a second. It's gonna be behind a bit.
Okay.
See it?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So Hakari.
So for me,
the pervert daughter.
Yeah. I guess we can talk about her for a bit and then rank, or we can rank and then talk. So I think the vibe I get with her is that, like, she started off in the very beginning as kind of just like before the author knew how hard he wanted to go with this, because he talked about it at first, the title was just a joke, and then once he got a couple in, he was like, fuck it, I will do 100, you know? Right. So at first with Hakari, I get the vibe that she was just, like, the normal girl, like she didn't seem to have, like, it was just like girl and tsundere girl, like, you know, those were like the two. But then I think slowly they kind of built her to be like, okay, her thing is horny. Her thing is, like, super horny, wants to fuck, pretty girl, yeah.
I definitely remember seeing that that booty mole. I was there from like chapter 1. I was
That's
on
true.
display.
No, does the booty mole indicate horny? Is that like a trope?
Well, I guess rather than her being horny, more like the story was treating her as like the sexy or like the thick girl.
So it was like a sexy one versus like the skinny twig tsundere.
Like thick versus stick.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to remember like when the horny first started being obvious.
But I think Hakari was definitely the more like obviously horny, because like he was like the first to confess.
Yeah, I guess she was probably just like.
I mean, it's like it hadn't been refined. Probably is a better.
In the beginning, I think it was like her just like, oh, I really want love, like the type of girl who's like, I mean, remember like in the beginning,
she was like romantic, very
she was, one of her dreams was to like remember she wanted to wear that wedding dress, and she, it's like that kind of girl.
But she definitely was also, I mean, yeah, there was definitely that undercurrent of, he wants everything that romance entails, not just the romantic, but he wants that passionate, like bed sheets broken or bed frame broken type love as well.
And she wants babies for sure. Yes. She's one of the ones that definitely wants babies. You are not pulling out. You are not wearing a condom with her. Like, So for me,
if her mom,
go ahead.
If her mom wants to raise babies, Hakari wants to make babies.
What a perfect assembly line they've got going on there.
Yeah.
Oh man, like Mom, I'll make you all the. Dude, actually, that's such a good deal. Like, imagine you're Hakari. Right. Okay, this is gonna be dark as fuck.
A little fucked up. Like I understand where you're going about. I agree.
Yeah, let me cook. Imagine you're Hakari, and you're like, man, I love making bacon, because I know people that are like getting nutted in is like a great feeling, and I love that meme where it's like impregnating someone, super hot. Great kink. Being pregnant and giving birth, not fun. Right. So it's like, damn it, I love the feeling of impregnating or getting impregnated, but not the whole. Oh, now I got a child for 18 years to handle.
Oh my god, that just made me imagine, because like Hakari the mom already had an implant. He already implanted. So
we'll get to the mom and her fucked up backstory in a second.
Yeah.
But first, I just want to say though, Hakari could just be a baby factory and then ship the babies off to the mom, and then she could have unlimited grandchildren, and then Hakari could just keep fucking. The perfect deal. Right. I'm just saying, when these guys all inevitably live in their like giant Jeff Bezos mansion, all 100 of them, you have any idea how awesome their lives are going to be? Because like with that many people, they're not going to need a lot of income. You know what I mean? Like
really, they literally are a self-sufficient society. Rather than Jeff Bezos pals, they're going to be living on like the Jonestown freaking island.
It's going to be a gorgeous little commune that they've created.
Yeah.
He's gonna solve fucking world hunger just in his one little area. Those like we've gone to different countries and checked happiness index ratings, and this small independent country that just cropped up recently, Rentaro's family. The Rentaro land. It's an perfect 10 out of 10 happiness rating. Everyone's got health care. Everyone, because think about it, he's gonna have like every profession in there. There'll be a girl who's a doctor. Right. There'll be a girl who's a dentist. There'll be a girl. It's just him and like 100 girls, and they run a self-sufficient society. I'm so excited for it. But anyway,
it's gonna be crazy.
Pinky for me, unless you have more to say about her, feel free. Never feel like I'm rushing you here. Letter-wise, she's what's up?
Another thing I find really interesting about her is she has pretty good social awareness. Like, she's really good at like, understanding social dynamics like that. She's got that cunning. In addition to being horny on main, she's
got rich girl vibes, right? Yeah. Like I have a friend who of our group, like none of us are rich, but of our group, there's one that's the most rich, right? Like they've got like the job with like a salary pay, and like they grew up like really well off, like upper middle class, right? And like there's always like a disconnect, because every once in a while, like they grew up like their parents raised them super like, you gotta dress nice, yada yada. So if one of us ever like dresses schlubby, she has to like catch herself to not be like, really, you're dressing like that? Like we've caught her before being like mega rude, like saying that. And that's kind of the vibe I get with Hakari, is that like she grew up in like a fucking mansion super rich.
Maids and everything.
Maids, definitely really caring about appearances and how she comes off. And that dynamic is interesting because one of the things that we will, I'm sure, touch on over and over and over again in this series is that Rentero's family, the beauty of it is that it allows all of these girls to be their true selves without I don't know, like
judgment.
There's no weird sense of like we got to put on airs or appearances. They feel so comfortable around themselves, and they're able to be like totally weird, totally themselves, anything they want. It's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, you see, I think that's part of why her horniness comes out extra because she knows there's no judgment. Like Rentero's gonna love her for everything she does, and all the other girls are gonna be like, she's weird, but so are we all, and that's the beautiful thing about this family, you know. So like, yeah, I love it. For me, letter-wise, she is like, I would honestly put her at like straight average. Like, so she's like, I think I've put her in B tier in the past, and I think that's probably where I'd have her. What do you think?
Yeah, for me, probably in B, right, like B or like low A, I guess.
All right, we will do B since we'll try to find like the average of what we both agree on. Like if I said B and you said S, we'd do A, you know, something like that. All right. And then in terms of this other one over here, I gotta bring up your explanations again. That's one of the reasons I wanted to do the letter one as well, because I'm like, this is so nebulous and confusing. What do you think about that one over there for Pinky?
The kind of relationship I would have with this person.
I feel like, is there like a one night stand fuck buddy?
Maybe.
Well, you know what I'm saying?
Playmate. Yeah.
Yes. You cracking jokes.
Definitely playmate territory.
Up for an adventure. I'll read up for an adventure as down to fucking dump, but with no
that's definitely part of what playmate entails.
I'm absolutely So for me, it's up to you if you agree or not. For me, let me explain. Okay, because I'm gonna be fully honest with you. I'm not super into her personality. I'm not saying it's bad, but she's not like the type of girl that I'd want to like marry. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because she's just kind of like girly, pink, dresses, sparkles, and that's fine. But like, I'm personally am super into like tomboys and like girls that are like just one of the boys. That's always been kind of what I'm into. So like that like extra girly, pretty, fancy kind of girly, not my type at all. But I do love horny girls. I love girls that are unabashedly unafraid to be horny as fuck. So to me, she is the perfect like, oh, you're just looking for dick, and you know that I'm like, I'm down. Let's go. Yeah, like you call me up anytime you want. That's the kind of relationship I would want to have with her. Do you agree or anything else?
Yeah, I would say the same. Cosign.
Nothing to add. I said everything.
Yeah.
Is it best girl Karine time?
Ooh, yeah, let's see.
Okay, so this is the tsundere. Every show's got to have one, but I think out of every tsundere I've seen, and that's a lot of tsunderes, I think she is easily the best one.
I mean, definitely is.
For me, and she is one that started out B or C tier, right? Like when I first saw her, in fact, when it was first just her and Pinky, I was definitely more into Pinky. But over time, she has like escalated so much to the point where I just like, I don't know, her tsunderiness has become like almost charming and like pitiable. Because I'm trying to think how I want to word this. Like
sympathetic. Yeah,
well, what does it for me, and we've talked about this before, is like the self-awareness, right? So like the fact that like she'll kind of snap at Rentaro and even sometimes like do the like hitting him thing, you know, where it's like boom boom boom, but like jokingly, you know, like you know, it's played up.
Jokingly.
Sometimes it's sometimes it's legit, but it's not like she's like, it's not trying to, the tone that it's going for isn't like she's abusing him or anything.
Yeah, he's comedic.
Yeah, but she'll hit him, but then like or snap at him with anger, but then instantly feel terrible. And like, so these days, like she'll be like one of my favorite moments with her is like when she'll do that, and then she'll be like, "I'm sorry. Why do you even love me? I feel," and like,
this poor girl.
I know, and like, and we've talked about this before too, but like to me, it's the way that the tsunderiness in this series is portrayed like an affliction, like a disease. Multiple, not just once, but like multiple times through the series, tsunderiness is like portrayed as like a genetic thing that carries with you. We meet her family, they're all like that. Even like children, like members of her family that have married out to other people, their children are tsundere. That's a dominant gene. The tsundere-ness is a dominant gene. It overrides every other gene. If you have kids with a member of this family, they will be tsundere from birth. We saw a motherfucking baby with a pacifier being tsundere. Okay, so
even their goddamn cat.
It's in the air, bro.
It's like a fucking field that surrounds them. It tsunderifies everything.
Yeah, and you have this chapter where she's like, Rentaro, I really want to have kids with you one day, but I'm really scared that you're not going to want to, because you're going to see that. That's why she wanted him to meet her family, because she's like, are you going to be scared that I'm scared that our kid's going to be like. I mean, it's dark. It's almost like if you found out that you had
sickle cell trait or something, and your partner often I'm afraid our child
is gonna have a worse life because and there are chapters where it deals with how hard her life is being tsundere, and she's aware of it. It reminds me of sometimes I being on the autistic
Tourette or something.
Being on the autistic spectrum, sometimes I'll have moments where I'll react to things in a shouty manner, but then instantly be oh, why did I do that, and she's going through life with something like that, and one of my favorite chapters with it is when they're doing the spirit bomb thing and they're sucking up her tsundere energy, and they're all oh my god, is this how you live? I feel this overwhelming urge to say the opposite of what I actually think and mean. This is terrible. How do you live like this? It's so sad. So as we've gone through the series, and then I'll stop yapping and let you yap for a while. But as we've gone through the series, I feel like I've seen deeper into who she is as a person. Because when you strip away the tsundere-ness, she is one of the most sweet, kind-hearted, caring, loving girls. More than a lot of them, she wants to kiss Rentaro. She wants to cuddle with Rentaro. She wants to do pervy stuff too. She wants to
sniff his clothing.
Yeah, she wants to hug him and hold him and do all the wholesome stuff even, right? But she's just got this thing where she's nervous about showing being genuine and showing it kind of reminds me of irony poisoning. Do you know what that means? Do you know that term?
Yeah.
She's locked in, and it's really, really sad. And she's slowly through the series getting better at acknowledging this, and so that is really charming to me. So for me, she is now a step above Pinky in A tier. Your thoughts?
For me from the beginning, he was I guess between Hakari and Karane, I was definitely Team Karane from the beginning. And I mean,
I was smitten. Listen, man, I was smitten by the ass mole. Okay, you gotta understand.
Karane's fits are always top tier, and her facial expressions are they send me a lot of time.
Akko, is that you?
Yeah. Where am I being sent? But yeah. Something that I actually just noticed when you were describing Karane's difficulty expressing her true feelings. It actually kind of contrasts nicely with Hakari's, because she could have sometimes a bit of a conniving nature, Hakari, where she'll a lot of times she'll have some crazy scheme going on where she's purposely hiding her true feelings to put on her front. I don't know, there's a nice little what's the word, foil relationship between the Hakari who can show her true emotions but hides them purposely, versus Karane, who wants to show her true emotions but can't.
That's another thing that we actually haven't even talked about too, is the very obvious lesbian tension between.
Oh yes, yeah.
I guess I shouldn't say lesbian because they're into men too. The bisexual tension between.
A lot of people, I'm convinced when they zinged at the beginning, they zinged with each other as well as with Rentaro.
Yeah. It was this cloud field. It was because they zinged with Rentaro at the same time that it created a field around all of them. I love that though, and it's great because you can tell that Pinky, specifically Hakari, adores teasing her. Hakari really enjoys the bratty bottom dynamic. You can tell that Hakari would want to handcuff Karane to a bed and then just start fucking feather dusting her nipples and be what, you want me to stop? Is that what you want?
I read some fanfic that basically basically describe that dynamic, and it is just as awesome as you are describing.
Oh my god! Like during the kiss zombie, where they're just like he stops them by they're just making out for like an hour straight. Whew!
They literally locked lips. They had to be pried apart.
There's another chapter where they're when they're I think it's when they're sleeping over at Hakuri's mom's house, and like they both are trying to cuddle with Rentaro, and then they wake up and they're like straddling each other.
Yeah.
It's so cute. I fucking love it. And it's like they've got like ironically, I know I hate to make this the comparison, but they've got like a Sanji Zoro dynamic where they like where they like pretend to hate each other, but really deep down you can tell they'd be there for each other for like anything, you know. It's very wholesome.
I mean, I guess they are frenemies in this category.
Yeah, if they were ranking each other, they'd be frenemies. Hate her guts, wouldn't want to talk to her, but I'd scissor the fuck out of her. So do you agree with my placement of her being at A?
Yeah, definitely above. Yeah, definitely above Hakuri.
Because to me,
go ahead. Very close.
Close to, Hakuri's like high B for sure. But I also want to distinguish the fact that like I love Karane, but she doesn't make it to S tier. There are better girls. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I know you're kind of a softie and you don't want to well, no, in the sense that like in the sense that like I'll be like I hate this character and you're like whoa man, I don't hate anything.
Yeah, it's very rare for me to hate a character, so that in that sense, yes, I'm definitely
but
softy.
That's boring.
Yeah, kind of.
Let the hate flow through you, please.
All right, well.
I mean, don't force it. Don't force it.
I know, no.
I'm just saying, if there's any that you're like, man, this one's kind of boring, just amplify that to hate, you know? But anyway, I just want to say, though, because, like, I love her, but it's just there's so many down here that are, like, absolute goddesses that you got to save S tier for the peak. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure everyone understands that.
Yeah. Blow our load too soon.
Exactly, because otherwise S tier loses its meaning, okay? She's A tier. We love her. I would absolutely date her. See, I wouldn't date. Well, here, let's go over to here. Okay, so what would I call Karane on this list? Well, you start as I read through what these are again. Thoughts?
I mean, I don't know if I would date. I don't know. Would I date Karane? I mean, I can see us being frenemies. So I mean,
I'm a big guy. I could take her hitting me. I could take it.
If I'm thinking of frenemies, I'm thinking of more because he doesn't like being so aggressive, being so standoffish in that way.
Well, because the vibe I get is that at worst you're gonna have like little quick moments of blowing up at you, but then immediately she's gonna be super sweet after she, you know what I mean? And like I also get go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of doesn't. It kind of disqualifies her from frenemy territory because I'm imagining more like a you give it as good as you get kind of thing. Like it's it's a friendly teasing, like the way she is with Hakuri. I don't think she'd be like that with just anyone.
Yeah, I mean for the most part you're gonna get like she's gonna like get you a gift and then she's gonna give it to you and then she's gonna be like it's not because I'm trying to impress you or anything. Just don't get any ideas. I just wanted to get you something. And I think that's kind of cute. As long it depends on how. I mean, I think I could see it getting old. For sure.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons she's not at S tier is because like she's like a good tsundere. She's one of the good ones, as you know what I mean. She's because like a lot of tsundere in fiction, instantly I'm like that'd get annoying. She does it in such a way and with such rarity that I think it wouldn't get as annoying because there's like more of a real human beneath it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm trying to figure out what I'd put her. Do you know what you put her?
Thinking friend zone right now. I mean, I think she'd be a good friend. I don't know if I want to date her.
Frenemies, enemies, soulmates, mind. What's mind mate again? Intellectual.
Like someone who you can have like long discussions about like your hyperfixations and you can vote something like that.
I think I'm gonna agree with you. Because as much as it is cute in like fiction, I do think it would get old very quick, the tsundere-ness, you know, because like there'd come a point where like after the 600th time that she's like physically hit me and then been like I'm sorry, I'd be like girl, you need to go to therapy or something. It's like
anger management.
This is like I don't feel safe with you in my own house. And then there's that awkward, like, I'm the guy, so I can't call the cops about getting abused because they'll assume I'm abusing you.
Yeah.
The cops come to the door, and then Karene's like, it's not like I'm abusing him or anything.
Well, okay, that might throw him off.
I didn't hit him. Oh, man. Karene applying bruise makeup to her face to get out of it.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. Okay. Bookworm!
Yep, Bookworm, Shizuka.
So, we can talk about her, obviously, but, like, I'll just, immediately I'll say, I like her, but she's, like, straight average for me. Like, straight C tier. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna put her there, but then we can talk about her more. Did you want to start, or do you want me to start?
Yeah, you start. I need a second to gather my thoughts.
Okay. Well, hold on. I hope you're listening to my thoughts, though. Don't just.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know the, like, are you listening?
Sometimes the things you say, they help spark.
I was gonna say, are you listening to listen, or are you listening to respond, you know? All right. So, for me, she's cute. She's there. She's, for a while, she was just kind of faded into the background for me. I'm like, okay, she's cute. But I think the thing that made her not, like, D tier for me was the new, like, the deepness with her abusive mother.
Right.
And, like, because at first you think, okay, this, like, her talking with this text-to-speech app, it's just, like, a wacky little trait. But actually, it is genuine trauma. It's genuine, like, it's either trauma or it's, like, genuinely, like, a speech impediment. Like,
yes.
I don't know if it's, like, just super bad anxiety or if it literally is just, like, she has a speech impediment. Either way, it's a running theme with this. Yeah, and it's a running theme with this author that, like, he doesn't just give characters, like, a silly quirk and then leave it at that. He'll give them a silly quirk and then make it, like, deep and nuanced. He writes characters the same way that, like, Oda writes characters in One Piece, where it'll be, like, you'll get introduced to this character and they'll have, like, some weird thing, and then, like, you'll be like, that's a silly weird thing for that character to have, and then you'll get the flashback and it's like, oh, that's why they do that weird thing.
Like, I judged you a little too quickly.
What's up?
Yes, like, I judged you a little.
Yeah, too quickly. Like in, I don't know. I know you're not a big One Piece guy, but like Nami, when you meet her, she's like her quirk is that she's obsessed with money. She's constantly robbing people, yada yada. And then you get her flashback, and it turns out that like a group of pirates came and took over her village and made everyone pay like a tax, and if you didn't pay that, you just got killed. And then that group of pirates made her a deal that if she could gather enough money, she could buy her island back from the pirates and then free all of her friends and family. So like for 50 episodes, you're like, oh, this is just like a bitch who's like stealing and thieving and that's her whole thing. But no, it's actually because her whole life since she was 8, money was fucking everything. I bet you feel like a piece of shit now because you weren't. Yeah, and so like that's kind of what Shizuka. Is it Shizuka or Shizuku?
Shizuka.
Shizuka. In the beginning, you kind of get the vibe. There's like an offhanded line in the very beginning where it's like, oh, my mom told me to stop talking like that. I'm trying to. You read it more recently than me, but there was like a kind of a foreshadowing line about her mom in the very beginning. Do you remember that? Yeah, something because we see like her mother essentially like screaming at her in like a silhouette. Yeah, like in desperation, like stop using the the book to communicate. Yeah, and it's funny. I got a good story about when I watched this with Allie, my girlfriend. She literally, like, we were talking about her as a girlfriend, and she was like, she's cute, but I don't like the phone thing. That'd get real old real fast. And then I was like, wow, Allie, you don't know. That's probably like a thing for her. And then she was like, uh-huh. And then we got to that scene, and then she felt really bad. So it's just so good. So yeah, and then that's amplified even more. And this is kind of what makes me almost want to put her in B tier. And I'll get with you on your thoughts to see if we should move her to B tier or not. But like, unironically, one of my favorite chapters in the whole series, I mean, top 5 of the 180 something chapters that are out, is this chapter with her and her mom. I adore that chapter. I cried during that chapter. I didn't expect to. Where you see, it opens up and you see this dinner, or you see not dinner. That was such a tense opening page. Yes, and they're having breakfast, and it's super quiet, and they're not saying a word to each other. And then you go through and you realize she's taken away her phone. Shizuka can't even talk right now because she doesn't have her phone, and she tries to lie to her friends and say, oh yeah, it's just broken, haha. And like, I remember like you said, I was totally willing to believe, oh, it probably is just broken, and that's going to be like the gimmick for this chapter. No. And so you go through this, and Rentaro has a whole confrontation with her. But what I like at the end is, like, you know, the mom is assuming that Rentaro is doing the, like, white knighting thing that guys sometimes do, where it's like, oh, you picked, like, a weak, helpless, defenseless, like, disabled girl, and you think that she's easy pickings to, like, come in and get a quick fuck, and, like, and I can kind of understand how the mom could maybe think that, you know, and, but Rentaro has to kind of, like, prove to her, like, no, I genuinely love her, I know everything about her, we have a whole group of friends that love her to death, but all that is great, but in that chapter, what gets me every time is the classic narrative trope of returning where it began, right? Where you get the breakfast again, and after that big talk and fight, the mom has kind of reluctantly given the phone back, and kind of like like a peace offering, right? Like, offer the olive branch, like, okay, here's your phone back. I don't like it, but here's your phone back. And then Shizuka, you know, even with her phone, the implication is that up until now, she doesn't talk to her mom, because she knows that her mom finds this phone conversation shit annoying. So I'm imagining every morning they're having breakfast, she's like just sitting there quiet, because she knows if I try to talk to her with the phone, she's gonna roll her eyes or scoff or be like, why can't you fucking talk normal, you know? So then finally, and like, it's like you and I talked about this, in no way should it be her responsibility to be the one to reach out. It should be the parent. Yeah. But she does. She ends up reaching out and being brave and just trying to have like a normal morning conversation with her mom with her phone. So she's like, oh, this is really good. How did you make this? Could you teach me how to make this sometime? And the mom is like, I love the detail in this. There's like ... dots. She's like taking a long time to respond. She's clearly uncomfortable. She feels weird about it, but she's fighting through her, like, uncomforts about this situation to talk back to her and, like, have a conversation. And then finally she breaks down crying, and she's like, oh, this is how you communicate, you know? And you can tell, at least in my reading of it, she's not, like, instantly like, I'm sorry, I was so bad, but in my mind, what happened there was the mom was like, I'm willing to let my problems with this go because I want to have a relationship with my daughter. I don't want to sit here in silence every morning for her whole childhood and not talk to her just because I have a problem with how she talks. I'd rather... It reminds me of parents that will, like, you know what, I hate this trans thing, but I'd rather have my kid in my life than, like, them never talk to me again. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, like, to me that felt really nuanced, really good. The mom didn't just, like, instantly be like, I was wrong, you know? So I fucking adore that chapter. And so that... Anyway, your thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, I really liked how, you know, the author depicted it, because, like, I remember getting the feeling way back at the beginning that the mother wasn't just being, like, an asshole mom. Like, she had this, like, genuine but misplaced, like, you know, desperation. Like, if my daughter can't be normal, then she'll never be able to be, like, you know, happy or accepted by society. Which is, you know, that's... In Japan, it's not, like, an unreasonable fear to have. But, like, in this classic way that some parents have, they kind of, like... They treat their child like they're not a person, like they're like a malfunctioning piece of equipment. They just try to like make them work without, you know, treating like a person who can be, you know, well communicate with. And because I guess like in this specific situation, like the phone was already something that made her even less willing to communicate with her daughter on that level. So it just made the issue, you know, intractable. They're stuck in this terrible, you know, cycle. And I think, yeah, Rentaro definitely sort of, like, gave her an out, I think, when he asked her that question, like, do you really know, like, have you even talked to your daughter? Like, you know that she even wants to be normal. And that was, like, I think that helped her mother kind of be like, okay, I don't have to do this. I believed in my head that I had to do it, so I made myself do it, even though some part was always screaming, like, this is not the way, and that finally helped her sort of, like, pull back and give her daughter the space to, you know, say, like, you know, good morning. Something as simple as good morning.
To even just be able to communicate. Like, imagine living in a house and not even feeling like you could say anything. to your mom
Yeah.
without her blowing up. I mean, so sad. Also, I just want to say hi to Luke in the chat. Luke's in the chat as well as...
Yeah, I actually watched, towards the end of my reading of the series, I actually watched your guys' tiering. Yeah. So every time I get to a girlfriend I hadn't seen it, I'd stop and then read ahead.
That's fun. You'd listen to us talking about that girl. What did you? Any thoughts? Did you like it?
Oh yeah. It was good. It was nice. Yeah. It kept me occupied at work. Always. Yeah, it's always the great thing about you guys. Like something to keep my brain from like falling apart. Mindlessly.
Sure. Yeah, nice to see you, Luke. Nice to see you, crying bystander. What a great name. Okay, so
I will not fight you on Flash, Luke. I agree. Rentao is God.
Oh yeah. He'll be just like ours. He will be in Chad Taro status, of course.
Yeah.
Rentro's God fight, man. Yeah, we never... Karane is friendly to me. Yeah. Luke doesn't like Karane. That was a big... Do you remember our conversation, me and Luke's on Karane? Yeah, we argued for a while on Karane. So, here's my question to you, Rios. Does Shizuka stay in C, or is she elevated to B? Simply because to me, on the merits of just her as a person / character, she's straight average. She's C. I think I like her a little less than Pinky, but I do really like that chapter specifically. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I do really like that she's not just like shy. Like it's like, based on her character archetype, you would think that she's just sort of like shy, small being. But I mean, I like that she has this sort of like very quiet, understated like fierceness to her. Like she's ready to throw down, even if she can be kicked up by like a gust of wind.
Slight gust.
Yeah. I do find that very cute, and I guess this answer was more looking at the categories I got, because I would definitely put her in friend zone, because like as much as I liked her, when Nano said that this is a creature that will not survive if not protected, that kind of like sealed her fate for me, because like I need in a partner, I need them to be able to like take care of themselves,
be self-sufficient. Absolutely. Yeah. Now here's the thing though, is she friend zone, or is she... I almost think if there's any time to use mind mate, wouldn't it be...
I can see it. Well, I'm thinking these are more like at relationships specifically, like these are actually like you're dating this person.
Oh.
Any of the... But I mean, that might...
Okay. Well, and then the other one I think is maybe valid for her is family zone. To me, she feels a little bit more like a sister than like even a friend. But that's just me. What do you think?
Because I was always considering her friend zone, but let me consider family.
I think there's too... my concern about this one is there's maybe too many categories that like overlap.
Yeah.
It's up to you though. I can default to yours. I'd be down, but I agree that I wouldn't want to date her. But I'd be down for friend, family, or just like someone to... The reason I said mind mate was because like I could see as someone that I just like talk about books with. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I totally agree with you. My first ex, just about to out her name. Not her full name.
Not her full government name now.
Yeah. Well, my first ex was very much that type. Like, you felt like you had to, like, remind her to do everything. Don't forget to take your medication. Don't forget to, do this. I gotta fucking do my daily call with you to make sure you're not gonna kill yourself. I'm not even kidding. It was that bad. I should have known when I met her on Discord. Okay, it was not a good place to... I say that, and yet I guess technically I met you on Discord, but I wouldn't want to meet like a lover on Discord. It feels a little although, in another world, Rios. Let me know if I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. I'm just trying to be funny.
No, I'm good. I
figure you're cool with the gay jokes at this point.
Yeah, I know all about.
You've been watching us.
How you operate, I guess. I don't know. That feels weird. That feels like a very nano way of explaining it, but.
I mean, yeah. Well, we're almost about to get to your girl. Yeah. Anyway, are we going friend zone, family zone, mind mate? What are you?
I'm gonna go friend zone. Yeah.
All right, cool.
And then.
Are you cool with C tier for her?
Yeah, I'd keep her in C tier.
Yeah, because she is less good than Pinky. I think we both agree on that. All right, here it is. I'm gonna let you start on because she, as far as I know, your favorite is Nano, and I don't think I've ever met.
I wouldn't say she's my favorite.
Not anymore.
But
for a while she was your favorite.
She's a very relatable character for me.
All right, well let me ask you this. Right, In the beginning, when it was like the first 5 or 6, she was your favorite for a while, yeah?
Oh yes, yeah. I mean, she had some great panels.
You love her. She's like top 5, I assume, for you, right?
Mm.
Oh, okay. All right.
There's so many. There's so many good girls. The top 5 is probably not in top 5, but she'd be like,
Okay. Well, I'll let you start because I've never met anyone who likes Nano as much as you. Like when you were reading those early chapters, you were a Nano guy, and I was like really interested in your thoughts on Nano. So go ahead.
Okay. Let me remember. What did I say? Sorry, I got.
Oh, that's okay. If you just want to off the cuff it, you can, or if you want me to, loosey goosey.
I mean, for Nano, I guess.
If you want me to start, I can. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me try.
It's his first day. It's his first day, everybody.
Yeah. The first thing that comes to mind is, I don't know. I mean, there's so many like moments that I can relate to personally. Like there's one time early, I guess like early in the series, like probably like the first 40 or so chapters, where she just says some offhand stuff about like liking the girls, or whatever, and they rush after her and hug her. And she's like, "What is happening? Why are you all right?" Like that's
this misunderstanding of like emotionalness, basically, because she sees it. Yeah, because I know people like this that like kind of ruin their lives by seeing everything as like this like calculation, or seeing everything like the whole like facts don't care about your feelings crowd. It's like, yeah, but that's like a super depressing way to live life. You know what I mean? Like, what makes you human is emotions, and her journey through like trying to be able to relate to people. I think one of the best chapters I think of with her is the one where it's her, the drunk ethics teacher, and someone else, I can't remember, and they're and they're out there looking at lanterns or something, and Nano's doing that classic, like, I've got an itinerary. We're going to go for 30 seconds. We're looking at this. For 15 seconds, we're looking at this. I ran this through an algorithm. I calculated it. This is the most efficient way to see as many things as possible with my dear friends. And I want to do as many things as possible with my dear friends. And that's how she looked at hanging out. She was like, I want to optimize this. Whereas everyone else is like, you're kind of ruining the fun here, Nano. And she had to kind of realize what she was doing wrong there. And like her journey through moments like that is really good.
Yeah, I mean, I love how in like literally the latest chapter, she, like, I think for like probably the first time, she appears to be like overcome with emotion when she, like, when she was talking to Rentaro about how she sees, apparently she sees everyone's faces as just like a series of curves and lines. Like, I guess she's literally
and she's like, I see, and your curves and lines are pretty appealing to me.
And the face she makes, she just looks so genuinely smitten and overcome with emotion. I'm like, oh my god, she's grown so much. It's just like
she's
so
learning.
Sweet. Like I mean, it feels like I mean, as someone who when I was that age was very much like focused on all schools. I mean, even as an artist, I was still very like regimented, like a practice at 10 a.m. every day. Like if I can do that, then I'll improve automatically. And it's just like, I don't know, I guess seeing that reflected Nano was like very like I don't know. There's something there like I can't put to words.
Well, yeah, because you told me that you like her a lot because she reminds you of like a younger you, right? Where you had similar issues with like kind of I assume don't let me speak for you here, but I assume you had similar issues with like kind of algorithming like your whole life, and like everything had to be like efficient,
kind of workaholic, and for me it was more coming from like I didn't know how to like interact with like socially and like in non-structured social environments. So like it was easier to just stay in my lane and do these like focus on school because I know how to navigate that space. I don't know how to do this like friend or like relationship, so that's scary. So
we can almost see it here, right? Where like I'm the kind of person who I do my best work when I'm just like, put me on the spot, let me improv, like I'll talk. I can just create words on it. Bing, 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 bing. And then you're here trying to scroll back to your previously like super well cataloged thoughts on these characters.
And I'm literally doing that right now.
So I mean, I can see the Nano coming out of you. You're and I think everyone's had moments like this where they like. I think as you grow older, you kind of forget how to be because when I was a kid, when you're a kid, usually, at least when I was a kid, you don't really think about like, okay, if I say this with this tone, people will like me. But if I say it in a weird tone, people will find me weird. So I have to make sure to really think about my tone, think about how long I'm talking. Think of, I had a phase like that when I became like super self-aware of my autism and stuff, where I was like, in my head, every interaction was like a script. I was like, how do I do this in a way that's not going to weird people out? And I mean, I even wrote like a fanfic about, I don't know if I ever told you about this. I wrote a Killua fanfic back in the day to like parse through my emotions.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about this.
Yeah, and part of that fanfic that was really emotional for me was I basically had Killua say something like, I'm really happy spending time with you, Gon, but every interaction feels like a script. Everything I say is something I'm thinking about, because I've been trained my whole life to like I've been trained since like I was a kid to make people feel comfortable around me. So I can't tell if I'm being me or if I'm being like this like thing that my parents programmed me to be. And like yeah, so like obviously I'm not an assassin that was trained from birth, but same kind of vibe, right? Like I had a point in my life where I was like going through conversations like that, where I was like thinking about everything. And like when you kind of leave that like childhood and you become an adult and you're thinking about all these things and the consequences to what you say and stuff, if you've got OCD like me, you can take it to its extreme and kind of, if you don't have that spontaneity and like if you can't just like go into a group of friends and just talk off the cuff, it doesn't feel as fun anymore. It feels like every time you leave the house you have to like put on your mask and fucking, you know what I mean? So like that's kind of how I look at Nano, as someone who's like locked into life that way. She views relationships as like nothing but like she did, at least she's evolved from this, but I think she viewed relationships and family as nothing but like means to an end. She looks at life as like getting from point A to point B in the most efficient way possible. I mean, she's the type of person who like wouldn't put condiments on her sandwich because she'd be like, well, it's just on. She's the kind of person who would like get those like meal replacement shakes because like, well, all I need is
literally in the beginning she was eating food pills, I think.
Yeah, all I need is the calories. It's a waste of time to, and when you live life like that, you're not kind of experiencing, because like the mundane pleasures of life is like what life's all about. Taking a slow walk, going nowhere, just simply to smell the flowers and see the sights. That's the kind of joys that Nano would struggle to have. And like her journey through realizing that is something I love to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I also love the little like, I don't know what you call them, like I guess the chinks in her armor, like, because she's terrified of heights and yeah, in a similar, it's not a similar vein, but like the emotion that Shizuka pulls out of her, it's like,
yeah, she's like, so cute. It's breaking me. Yeah. No, yeah, and by the way, just as some spoilers for future thoughts, I feel the exact same way about Uto. Uto has this like bard persona that she tries to stick to, but she's like really jumpy. Like if there's a loud noise, she'll be like, yes, I'm a warrior and I travel from place to place where the wind takes me, and then like a balloon will pop and she'll be like, ah! I fucking love that. It makes her so cute.
Right back to that after, like kids pretend like that didn't happen. Don't pay attention to that.
They went to a horror movie once in one of the recent chapters, and she was like, I don't remember what was her excuse. She was like, I was not scared. It was I don't remember what she said.
It's fictional, like it's fictional. So what reason might
none of that really happened. So if you think about it, I didn't react to anything. But anyway, let me just respond to Luke real quick here. He says Kusari's his favorite character. Yeah, so he's a fan of the scientist girl.
I remember him.
And she's only friend zoned to me. I like reading about her, but there's only so much Kusari one can take. True. My second girlfriend was exactly like Shizuka. Oh, interesting. You had a little small bean baby girl. And I'm interested in Nano, or I'm interested too because Nano is C and friend zone to me. Okay, and then that's fair what you guys said about Nano. Okay, so here's what I'll say. For Nano, for me, I think... Oh, this is tough. She's like right between C and B for me. But I imagine since you're here, we'll bump her up. So what would she be for you? Like, don't even take my letter into account. I want to like do the middle of what it'd be for you and for me.
I think for me, I'd put her above Karane. So like an A.
A high A.
Yeah.
How about we put her then, because to me she's like high C, low B. So how about we put her at like high B?
Yeah, like above Hakari.
Yeah, because I actually do like her more than Hakari. Well, do I? See, she's moved around a lot. Nano's one that in the beginning I didn't like, but she's grown on me. So I think if this was just my tier listing, she'd be like low B, high C. So maybe if it was just me, I think I'd put her just below Pinky. But because it's you, because we're combining you and me, we'll put her above Pinky, right below Karane. Because do you like Karane? No, you'd put her above Karane, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we just kind of got to split the difference here. Is that chill?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
All right, cool. I actually wonder, do we want to split the difference, or do we want to make, because I have made my tier list before. Do we want to make this your tier list? I could still give my opinions, but like, what do you want to do with that?
I mean, I don't mind making my tier list.
I want it to be your, yeah, we already have mine, so it's going to be yours. So for you, it's high A for Nano, right?
Yeah.
And then everything else is still good? Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'll still give my opinion, obviously.
Yeah, she'd be above Karane then.
Perfect, okay. Blasphemy. For me, none of these girls yet have been above Karane. All right.
In terms of the kind of relationship, I think, I would put her in helpmate category. I feel like it would be...
What was helpmate? Oh, like she'd help you with your homework type shit?
Well, I guess homework, but more like, building a life together, the kind of person who...
I think I must have misunderstood these categories. I thought the only one where you were in a relationship with them was soulmate. I must have misunderstood.
I know, because I mean, there's not like I made it up. Like I basically took these.
Oh, they are all part. I see what you mean. Yeah, they're okay. I did misread.
Because I'm taking the mate,
partner. So the first four are partner, and then the bottom four are not. Okay, my bad.
Yeah. Yeah, like helpmate is like somebody who. I mean, I don't know. I guess like
the future. And assists you in maintaining a home.
I mean, obviously they all kind of blend together. So I'm more saying like that's the strongest like tone in the relationship, I guess. Like that's not like just because I would consider Nana like a helpmate, that doesn't mean she doesn't also have some like say soulmate qualities. But
for sure,
I'm thinking for me helpmate feels like the strongest.
She's giving like the type of relationship where like, because like, if you were with Pinky, it's like it's gonna be like about the passion, it's the kissing, the love making, whereas with a relationship with Nano is gonna be about like building your house together, filing your taxes together. Have you ever watched Everything Everywhere All at Once? It's an A24 film.
I know of it, but I have not.
Watch it. It's on Netflix. Watch it, please. But there's like a nice line in there where like in the beginning of the movie they're talking about like these two characters get a divorce and they're like why all we do anymore is file taxes together. That's all. That's what our life has become. And then like later in the movie there's like this beautiful moment where she meets like an alternate universe version of him and like falls in love with that version of him, but they have to split up, and he's like, in another world I would have loved filing taxes with you. And that makes me think of Nana.
I mean, like for me that feels kind of romantic, being able to do those sort of things together.
Yeah.
For some people, that feels like drudgery, and like they're like, I don't want. I mean, I'll bear through it because you have to do it, but like,
totally, yeah. To me, romance is like everything you do with them. Like, it encapsulates the big adventures, but also like waking up and like cooking breakfast together. Like for sure. Okay, cool. All right, it's Kusari time, squad.
Kusari, oh my lord.
Whew, so like
chaos, like agent, like good lord.
So Luke likes her because she brings that element of chaos to the series. But for me, the way I look at this series is like I'm on the fucking Bachelor right now, and I'm fucking looking at all these potential lovers, and so that's how I look at these girls. And I look at Kusari and I'm like, abso-fucking-lutely not. You know what I mean? And like, because to me, even when she's like being cute and wholesome and you're seeing her being lovey-dovey with Rentaro, the like ooh third person talking that she does is like so off-putting and gross to me. It just feels, how do I want to put this? I don't know. It's always felt kind of like pedophile pilled to me. Like the type of girl that like a right winger on 4chan would be like, that's my wife. And I'm not implicating you in that, Luke. I know you just like her because she's like funny. But like, since I'm looking at this from the perspective of like, which one am I wifing? It's super off-putting. So in the beginning, she's extra bad for me because not only is it the third person thing happening, not only is she in an 8-year-old body, and it'd be one thing if she was in an 8-year-old body but like funny, but I also don't think she's that funny. But then just the cherry on top was the weird insistence on like the diaper thing. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, like not just the diaper, just like the peeing, like everything, like you gotta pee, like anytime someone has to pee,
I'm just gonna shit and piss myself anytime I. So she's like
it's not enough for her to be talking about her. She talks about other people too. Like anytime other people are having sexual emotions, she's like, "Oh, you gotta pee." Like the reason.
Because to her, it's like everyone should be wearing a diaper. It's in fact, I'm sure there was a joke like this, but that feels like something she could convince Nano to do.
Oh my, yeah, she probably could. Yes.
You're right.
Efficient,
that is much more efficient. Yeah. But now, see, I get the vibe that the author realized that was super off-putting for people because they kind of tapered her off of that. And my headcanon, my like in-universe headcanon, is that like that was one of those rare moments where Rentaro and the other girls were like, okay, listen, we can accept a lot in this group, but not that. Okay, you're walking around smelling like piss and shit all day. Absolutely unacceptable. You're gonna learn to go to the potty.
Yeah, she is like the word for this girl is reckless. Like I mean, like I can't believe how often her drugs get in the wrong hands. But
yeah, that's another example that's even another thing that makes her like it, because I don't listen, guys. I don't do F tier lightly. Okay? She has to be bad on every angle, okay? It's the diapers, it's the third person talking, it's the 8-year-old lolly body, and on top of that, 100%, just like you said, it's the recklessness. There has been moments where people could have died because of her actions. The hair apocalypse shit.
Yeah.
Which insane, by the way. Can't wait to see that animated.
Like that's something where she's not even messing with her entire family. She's bringing in the whole damn
planet. Yeah, but like, there's just a bunch of moments where it's like, oops, if we negate it too quickly, you'll literally die. And it's like, listen, man, because I guess here's what it is for me, right? One of the nice things about this series is, as wacky as it is, for the most part, it maintains this air of believability for me because all of the girls feel like real people. You know what I'm saying? That their characters feel so fleshed out, so real. Their love for each other feels believable. A lot of the times, the reason I hate harem series is because it'll be like all these amazing women and like the most unfuckable, unlovable guy in the world, and they're all swooning over him, right? Something that's nice about this series is that I believe in the love of these characters, all of them, from every direction. But someone like Scientist Girl and someone like Number Girl, which we'll get to, I look at them and I'm like, how the fuck is anyone in love with this person? You know what I mean? Every other girl I get, even like the weird ones, you know what I mean? But like the Scientist Girl and a handful of others, I'm like, I don't even think Rentaro would want to be around this one. So it's like a immersion killer as well for me. I'll say one last thing and I'll hand it off to you. As the story has gone on, she's gotten less bad. So she went from an F to a D tier for me because she stopped shitting in diapers. Genuinely. See, I'm a fair man, okay? Every fucking
the last time anything of that relationship with her, but yeah,
exactly, right? So every nick on her brought her down a peg, The third person talk brought it down to A. The diapers brought it down to B. The lolly body brought it down to C. The fucking endangering everybody brought it down to D. It just keeps going.
Yeah.
So so she's D tier for me now because she's gotten better, and for the simple fact that when she is in her adult form, she's one of the hottest girls. It's actually so unfair.
That's one of the few things that I really disagree with the author did. Like, they should have switched it around where she's spending most of her time in the 18-year-old body, and then like 1 hour or so a day she's an 8-year-old. That would have been
Yeah, think about how funny that would be. I mean, imagine, dude,
Lord.
actually such a funny concept. Imagine it's like what you just said. Hold on, wait, let me posit a situation here, okay? It's like what you just said. Rentaro and 18-year-old Kusari are out on a date, okay? This like bombshell, gorgeous woman, and they're out on a date in public, eating ice cream or something, and then like, I don't know, they're like mid-kissing, and then her hour a day comes up, she transfers to an 8-year-old, and then the police are like, get him! We got an Epstein situation over here.
That'd be a good running gag for her.
Yeah, the running gag of like, I swear I'm not a pedophile. Literally, I mean, I'm not even kidding, dude. So yeah, for me, D tier, barely escaping F tier. But this is your list, so what is she for you?
Now, I will say for me, I do love that she is such a little shit. Like like whenever the characters are doing some weird shit, she's always the one over here look at them like, oh, you guys are so like the faces she makes, like she acts like she's not like as bad as they are. Like I love that.
Her faces are great.
Like I guess that's actually like a. I mean, it's a lack of self-awareness, but where that would normally be a minus for me, I actually kind of like that specific application of her lack of self-awareness, where she can look at like in one of the later chapters when like the night girl is trying to deal with one of the issues that she caused, like, and she turned all the other classmates into babies, and now Kishka has to pretend. Well, I guess he has to. Let's just say she has to pretend to be a baby, and while Kusari puts together a drug to fix the situation that she caused. Kusari comes into the situation, sees the night girl leading this conga line of babies, and she has the audacity to look at her like she's the weird one. I was like, Kusari, you little shit. I personally find that funny.
I see the appeal to that. I'm glad you brought that up though, because that helps me learn something about myself, which is that like a big factor for me in loving characters is that self-awareness, right? Mm-hmm. And that's also a big factor for me just loving people in general, right? Like the ability to like think of like I genuinely think that the thing that separates like you know how people I don't want to like make a habit of it, but like you know how sometimes you can call certain people like, oh, those are NPCs versus you know like NPC behavior, right? I think the separation of like actual human beings and NPCs is the ability to think about not just feel emotions, but think about why you feel emotions. It's that degree of separation, right? The ability to be like, I'm angry right now, but why am I angry? Versus someone who's just like, angry, and then acts on the angry. That's, I like people that can have that degree of separation and like self-reflection. That's what it is. It's the ability to self-reflect absolutely separates the boys from the men. Like 100%. Yeah. And that goes for characters and real people. Good. Feel free to cook, Rios. I'm letting you cook.
I mean, I think I cooked with
You did cook, yeah. So, but what's the letter ranking? This is your list.
The letter now, okay. For Kusari, I mean, I think for me she is above Shizuka.
Oh, really?
But like very like it's very like.
Are we looking at a high C?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, for now. For now, because
a delicious fruit punch, high C.
Yeah. Right. Oh my god, I can just imagine Kusari making like drug that makes anything taste like high C.
Oops. That wasn't your high C juice box. That was the gives you AIDS drug.
It tastes like high C. Like it makes any medicine taste like high C. And like
hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
But yeah, let's put her C and
oh yeah, the fucking frenemies for me. Frenemies.
Yeah. you frenemies? I can see as frenemies.
Do you agree with that? It is your list.
Well, for me.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I can say frenemies
because like
yes, her little shit energy is very powerful. Like I would definitely like Kusari.
Yes, exactly.
Like, grabbing right at head. Iron Claw. What do you think you're doing? Like I feel like the night girl. Like she's always...
Yeah. In real life, if she was like a student at a school that I went to, I wouldn't hate her, but I would be cautious of her. I would be like, Like, you know, she would go around and be like, guys, I'm testing this new drug. And I'd be like, well, I find that very impressive. Don't come near me with that. I don't even fucking think about coming near me with that. But you do you.
And then you get involved anyway, because the whole school, because whatever she did would engulf the whole school.
But she always fixes it, so I think like there's a part of me that I wouldn't totally hate her. I'd be like, you know, some part of me would like appreciate her genius. I'd be like, damn, that's really impressive. But like, God, she's a nuisance.
I mean, she's creative. Like he's one of those wacky creatives.
Like. I love a good wacky creative. Is it mommy time? Oh, here, let me read the chat real quick. And then it's mommy time. All right. I see you. You're in there fucking responding to chat. Multitasking legend over here. Okay. My second. Okay. Kusari is responsible for lesbian zombie kissing action. Yeah, dude, crying bystander. I'm telling you, there's not a harem manga out there that is better than this one. Everyone. Yeah. I think it. Rios thinks it. Luke thinks it. And then bounce to sleep. Goodbye, crying bystander. Enjoy the sleep. Okay. All right, mommy time. Do you want to start with mommy, or want me to start with mommy?
Right, let me see if what I can cook up.
He's fucking frantically scrolling.
No, I already got it. Okay, so when she enters the scene, she has a similar, like the same problem that Shizu's mom has, where she's like trying to do right by her child, but in that way that, you know, some parents do, where they just like they don't care to take their child's input into the equation. Like, I understand what's best for you. I'm going to do what's best for you.
Yeah, and specifically with Hahari, it's this like assumption that her daughter is going to be like exactly the same as her. Mm-hmm. Which, to be fair, much like tsundere-ness in this world, horniness is also genetically passed on. May I just input and say, insane. Her backstory, fucking
really
crazy. Like, so she I'm just gonna explain this in like super layman's terms, okay? The women in her family are so down bad, so horny, that they often will just jump on the first dick they find, get pregnant, and ruin their lives. That's literally how she explains it. She, I believe she was 13 or 12, I can't remember. This boy that she had a crush on was like, had like a horrible disease and died. She got some of his sperm, I don't know if it was frozen or just like in vitro, she like in vitroed his cum into her to have his baby because she was that down bad for this boy. And then later she realizes, that was kind of fucking weird that I did that. And now she's scared her daughter's gonna go down the same path. And she's like, listen, you can't trust my daughter has no agency, okay? She's too horny. You cannot trust whatever she's saying to you. And it's
like a cat heat.
Yes! And it's kind of fucked up because it's like, there's a part of her that's like, there's a part of that's accurate. Like, I have no doubt that the vibe I get from Hahari is if she didn't get lucky and have it be Rentaro, the nicest guy in the world, some like bad guy could have totally taken advantage of her. You know, like, absolutely. So I mean, like, I get where she's coming from, but she was like very ara insane about it and like locked her in her room and shit. But yeah, I mean, anyway, continue with what you were saying.
Yeah, I remember noticing the parallel between the relation between Hahari and her, I guess, lover, and like Hahari and Rentaro, where like if Hahari had gotten her way and like separated these two forever, she would have just put her own daughter through the same shit she put her through. Like, I don't know, she would have perpetuated her own, you know, suffering. And
also, to be a little dark, I think she would have killed herself. She was like fully prepared to kill herself. You remember? Like, she was about to like jump out the window. Yeah. You ever been so down bad? And the reason I'm not just saying horny, because it's not just horny, it's also romantically horny, right? She's the whole package. She wants kissing, she wants cuddles, she wants fucks. So she's just straight up down bad. And you ever been that down bad where you're just gonna kill yourself because you can't get any?
Can't say I relate, but
yeah. Well, Hahari. Listen, I've always been able to fully satisfy myself by schmeating the meat, you know. So, but I mean, I guess for some people, that doesn't.
My left hand is my.
You're a lefty?
My partner.
You're a lefty?
Well, my right hand is for controlling the phone or the mouse or whatever.
Interesting.
I mean,
No, I right hand.
Right hand actually.
I right hand on the dick and left hand on the phone. Interesting. So whenever we meet up in person, we got to make sure we shake hands with our non-dick hands.
So I'll shake your left hand with my right hand. Right.
It's gonna be awkward. Wait, no, because your left hand is your dick hand. Yeah. Your right hand is your so I'm gonna use my left hand to shake your right hand.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll remember that because who knows if we've washed our hands that day? We might be a busy day.
Oh my lord! After the the most unexpected zing that I think we've had, I mean, is there a zing that's been more like surprising than the one that happened when Taro, after having had Kusuri give him a pretty useful drug to let him see infrared light somehow, his eyes finally clear and he makes eye contact with Ahari, and like they zing, and it's like, for
me, the only one more surprising than that is the cousin.
Well, oh god, yes, that was
the cousin. We'll get to it when we get to it, but like I'm not kidding. Where I had to kind of have a moment where I was like, I need to think about this for a second. Yeah. I need to decide if I'm gonna drop this series or not. I was a little perturbed when that happened because we'll get to it when we get to it. But that one genuinely surprised me.
Yeah, but once Hari zinged, like her whole MO changed, and it was like she was basically a different person at that point.
Yeah, and I mean we haven't discussed the elephant in the room here of this like 28-year-old woman. About to.
She's definitely like the oldest. She's like 29, I think.
Yeah. She oldest other than the grandma, but technically not.
Yeah, the physically, I guess, the oldest. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I mean, she. And then she goes on to buy the school, become the superintendent, so that she can fucking kiss and hug and cuddle and sexually harass children.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to point this out.
It is interesting. I think as the series has gone on, she's become a little less, I guess, sexual in her affectations. It's become a little more. I mean, it's definitely just as obsessive. So I feel like it's more motherly, innocently motherly. Like she's, like I said, she cares more about raising babies, and making babies is just a means to that end for her.
Well, for sure. And who knows, some of that might be the fact that his series is getting more like global appeal, so he's like trying to tone it down. But like, I will say, when she does like the baby obsession thing, I still get fetishy vibes from it, right? Like she's like drooling and coming about it. Like when she's like dressing them as babies, she's over there like drooling and vibrating. Like there is a sexual pleasure coming from this. And keep in mind, that doesn't mean she's not about to like do stuff to the kids or the babies. To me, it reminds me of like the Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter sexual pleasure, where like he's not gonna like fuck the person, but he's getting like sexual pleasure off of like imagining like, I don't know, the scenario. You know what I mean? Like I think she's just so into everything. Mothering.
Mothering.
Like she wants people to like breast, or she wants to breastfeed people. She wants to, and that gets her juices flowing. That's like sex to her, and it's very weird. But we read the series and we continue to cook.
Yeah.
It's funny. What can I say?
It's absurd. Like that's we're here for the absurdity, and as long as it remains
in the realm of fiction.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, like, one of my favorite clips from it's like I see it a lot on TikTok. It's a South Park clip where it's like someone's bitching about something and it's like, because it's funny, Kyle, because it's fucking funny. It's a joke. Like that. Anyone that wants to bitch about this series, just refer to that, because it's just fun. It's stupid. It's like very yikesy and problematic. But to me, if your fiction isn't yikesy and problematic, what are you doing? That's boring. I want to be shocked and perturbed when I read fiction, personally.
Yeah, I mean, the level of freedom that this author, the creators, the author, and the artist are willing or to have, I think that's necessary for making something great. And I mean, I believe that they are making something great with this story. So yeah,
I agree. I mean, it'd be like, here's the thing, right? Like, if 90% plus of this story was shit like that, was shit like the cousin thing, was shit like the 8-year-old lollybot, if that was like the bulk of the story, I would not be reading it. But it's just like it's sprinkled in whereas most of the girls are like super normal and genuinely like wholesome stories. So you got to kind of give and take with stories like this. You know what I mean? Like are there some things that are like a little yikesy? Sure, but like 90% plus of the story is like super wholesome, super funny, super nice. So yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, you know, the mom is funny. I do find her funny, but she's definitely, for me, she'd be probably like a D tier. But this is your list. Keep in mind, F tier is the only one that is don't like. D, C, B, A, S are all like.
They're all just different gradations.
Exactly. It's just like picking your favorite child. You know what I mean? Like the only ones that I don't like are F tier. Everything else is just different grades, right? So, like, even the mom, there are moments that I like specifically because she's so fucking funny. Like, I'll be honest.
I love when she'll say with the most serious face, like the goofiest shit, like, "Oh, I know exactly what will solve your problems," and she pulls out like a fucking like baby, like so like a maid outfit or like. Yeah.
I think the role that she plays that I like in the story the most is the fact that she's like the money. Like, oh, we want to do this activity? Let me just Amazon air drone that order that shit. You know? But also, beyond that, one of my favorite moments with her ever is right after Kendo Daddy Girl shows up. And she's just like, because at this point, it was like a running gag for her to be like, suck on my titties, and all of them would be like, no.
Be like, no.
And Kendo Girl was like, wait, really? And she's like, yeah. And then there's this gorgeous scene where the sun is setting. Do you remember this? The sun is setting, and it's beautiful, and they both have tears in their eyes. It's like, finally, someone that gets me for both of them.
I know, they both like, for real? I'm looking at the panel like, Haku, like, slowly drops down to the shoulder of her shirt, and lays down. She's like the fucking Virgin Mary holding like the La Pieta or some shit. And she literally calls her my Virgin Holy Mother. I mean, I guess Haku is virgin.
Dude, that's why. Yes, because she got that in vitro shit. That's crazy. But like again, we cannot skirt by how illegal what she did there was.
God, yeah.
Like I mean, like, you know that meme where it's like a list of crimes and a character? Yeah. Like, holy fuck, dude. At some point we should rank these characters by how much jail time they'd serve.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like misdemeanor, felony, life in prison, the electric chair. I'll be honest, Hari might get the electric chair.
I mean, I love her reactions he has with like, also with like Tama when at the end of that chapter where Tama, what was it like? Haku like lets her stay at her place, and then everything happened. They eventually Tama get the cat girl in.
That's a good that'll be a good conversation to have when we get to her. Yeah, but what point are you making though?
But she like. When at the end of that chapter, like they both confessed, like or like they love each other. They admit they love each other. And the cat goes like, "I love you," and then Hari just like he doesn't even just like babble. Like he's like she literally just like, blah, 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 blah. I remember seeing that. Like I gotta look at the Japanese draws and see what did she actually say. Like yes, she just says babbling gobbledygook. Like he does that several times.
It's because this cute little cat girl that you have in your fucking house just went, "I love you." I'd have that same interaction. Are you kidding me?
I mean, I love how like just he gets how he gets so overcome with the emotion. He just becomes like a babbling like mess.
I'm glad you brought this up because there's actually another element of her character that I do want to discuss, and I think it's very important. It's she's got like serious trauma. We can't overlook that, right? And like, so it's not a real thing, and I don't want to proclaim that it is a real thing because weird people use it, usually pedophiles. But I have you ever heard of people that try to say they're trans age?
Oh my god, yes, that nonsense.
Yeah, so the vibe I get with her, because like, do you remember the chapter where like they go out on a date with her, or like, and like they actually dress her up as like a high school student, and she's constantly saying like, "Oh, I wish I could be going to high school with you guys and like, you know, be the same age as you guys," and like, so it's dark, but like she completely lost out on her childhood. She from early middle school, she was pregnant and had to be a mother. And so she never got to have like a high school life experience. So the way that I look at her behavior is a trauma response to never having a childhood. You know what I'm saying?
The less problematic way of saying is she just had to grow up too fast, and she never was able to like have a childhood. So now she's doing that stuff that she never got to do now.
And that doesn't mean and understanding the motive doesn't forgive it, obviously. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like, I'm sure there's I wouldn't be surprised if a handful of people in the world that do those problematic things, it's for a similar reason. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like even if they don't understand it, it's a lot of times it comes from some kind of like missing of a childhood. You've regressed in age mentally. Not all of them. Some of them are just sick freaks. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like that's the kind of the vibe I get from her, and I find that as problematic as it is, it's fascinating. It's fascinating to look at her character like that because she desperately wishes that she was the same age as her daughter. She would rather be a friend to her daughter than a mother to her daughter. You can tell. You can tell. And it's really interesting. So yeah, for me, D or C, where is she for you?
For me, I would actually put her in like B or A tier because I mean that trait you just mentioned, that is kind of very endearing to me. Me
too. I mean, it's endearing to me too, but like
it's also that same energy of like the person who's like really professional and like put together at work, but then they need to like unwind. They need help like unwinding and like I guess letting their hair down out of work.
Like, literally, Tama.
Yes.
For me, she's low because I just have to factor in all the illegal shit, I think. You know, and like, you don't have to if you don't want to, but like, I guess for me, it's just like, I think she shouldn't be dating a high schooler. and like, that kind of, keeping the way I'm doing this is I'm looking at them as like real people. And, like, it'd be tough for me to want to, like, enjoy her as a person, I think, if she was that crazy. But, and of course, that's all up for personal preference, because there's types of crazy that we find attractive. Like, Iku, sporty girl, I find her crazy attractive, because I'm down. If a girl wants to get her ass smacked hard and she's going to come from that, I'm fucking down. I'm so down, you have no idea. Hit me up, ladies, call me. Anyway, I'm kidding. Allie walks to the door, beats my ass. Anyway, but no.
They give you Fictional medicine, right?
Yeah. But you know, just not. She's just not my type. Her crazy is not my type. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, for the tier list, I am thinking of more in terms of like
quality of character.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Whereas I'm thinking in the category, I'm thinking more like as a person. But yeah, for the tier list, I would probably put her like I guess maybe above Karane but beneath Nano, because I don't know, there's something I just like that tension between, you know, her wanting to like, you know, experience these things that she really denied herself as a young person.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it kind of is a similar energy as like if Nano had not met Rintaro and she'd gone through high school and whatever,
and then like snapped out of that like as an adult and realized that she had no childhood.
Yes.
So
I mean, obviously their energy is very different, but it's similar, you know.
Definitely,
probably,
So okay, let me just make sure. I'm the auditor here. I gotta just check the validity of this tier list. So you're saying you like the mom more than her daughter and more than Karane, correct?
Yeah. I mean, I'll love to see an adult like that. Really, like being an adult character really helps. Because I mean, I don't know. I guess when I was the same age as a lot of these like high school, middle school characters, it was different. But I don't know. It's nice to be able to like not have to like mentally de-age yourself or mentally up-age the character when you like imagine yourself in like
I try when I read a story like this, because and like this might be controversial, but to me fiction's fiction, right? So like when I read a story like this, I put myself in the shoes of the main character. So when I'm looking at these girls, I'm imagining that I'm in like Rentaro's shoes. I'm like a high schooler, same age as them, you know what I'm saying? That's just what I do, because you have to remember that this manga is targeted towards like high school boys.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of where I put my brain when I read stuff like this. I try to, at least.
Yeah, because I've never really been the self-insert type of person. I mean, normally I'm either experience it as though I'm like a third-person observer watching.
You're like a floating god.
Yeah,
yeah. You know, I think it just helps me. I like to increase my immersion as much as possible. So like I've always like, that's one of the reasons why I like Undertale. I like games, or I like fiction that like implies that it's not just a story, but you're actually like looking through a window at a universe that actually exists. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, I do the same thing. Like, it's the same way that I can kind of enjoy, like when I'm watching Adventure Time and Finn is like getting super crushy over Flame Princess. It's the same way that I can also get those butterflies in my stomach and be excited with him, because I'm not like sitting there like, well, as an adult, it'd be unprofessional for me to comment on this. Like, no, I'm sitting there, I'm with Finn. I'm like, yeah, buddy, go get her. Yes, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like, that's what I think it's more fun to be able to just kind of like, these are all fictional characters. Take your mind back to you in high school. You know what I mean? That's how I like to do it. Yeah. As long as you don't do that in real life, you're fine. Yeah. But yeah, so, okay, I'm just, so you actually, it's okay, I just want to double check, you actually do like her, you do like her more than Karane? That's insane to me. It's okay if you do, I'm just triple checking. Yeah,
for now I'm gonna say yes.
Okay, alright. Foodie! Oh wait, no, we didn't put Mom over here. I
mean, for me, Playmate, I don't know.
So is she, her and her daughter on the one-night stand tier?
Oh my, well, I don't know if I put her in a one-night stand here, but because I really do.
Oh, you're right. Fuck buddy tier. Sorry.
Well, not. Yeah. Like, but I mean, I do. Like, I don't know. I feel like he's someone who, I don't know. I guess like could help me be more like playful, or like more like, you know, like enjoy life or whatever. Because I mean, I don't know, like
help you kind of unwind, loosen up.
Yes. Like,
would you? If she offered, suck her titties.
I mean,
if you say no, what are you?
I mean, I'd be like, I was waiting for you. I've been waiting the whole time. That'd be my answer. Like how long? How hard?
All right, here's the scenario that I'm excited for, because it's a hentai waiting to happen. Okay, because in my scenario, they're in Playmate, or the daughter's in Playmate because she's perfect fuck buddy status. So now I'm fuck buddies with the mom and the daughter.
Oh my lord!
What an excellent situation to be in.
Like Nano said, Oyako don.
Like Nano said, that's efficient right there. Fucking the mom and the daughter at the same time. So what you do is you go over and you're like, listen,
like, I'm gonna make your little sibling right here, right now.
Oh shit! Oh god, why it's so good, bro? Because like, let's be honest, I can't speak for Hakari. I know, because Hakari was getting like super like awkward, right? Like when her mom first joined, she was like, oh. I remember, by the way, when that happened, Allie's take on that was like, I feel so bad for Hakari, because how fucking awkward. You're in this like polycule with a guy, and now your mom's one of the girls. That's got to be the most awkward thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But, I mean, it seems like she's gotten used to it as the series has gone on, you know? Now they're, like, and this is kind of what I was leading towards. The mom is absolutely the type that would, we've seen it, she's done dirty stuff in front of her daughter. She's not like, oh, but my daughter's watching.
Yeah.
The mom would absolutely let me rail her in front of her daughter. And so I'm just, like, saying that's my version of Playmate, okay? They're gonna be the fuck buddies. Because neither one of them is marriage material. They're too insane. And by the way, full disclaimer, just by the pure nature of this stream, it's kind of womanizing.
Yeah.
But we are both certified women respecters. We have our ID cards and everything. No,
right
we're I can hear it. I can hear how official. You got that laminated? No, straight up. I mean, like these are fictional. I enjoy kicking back and doing some fictional woman womanizing, you know? But like we love them, right? It's not like we're just like, oh, this one's hot. Like, we're talking about their personalities, like wanting to live like lives with them. I don't know. I feel like I need to like step back and be like, I'm not a bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm not a crook. I love women.
With the disclaimer.
I love women. I love respecting women. But I also love awooga-ing at fictional women, because
there's no reason you can't respect a woman. Wow. Worshipping her body.
Exactly. Dude, I'm all about the body worship, man. You ask Allie, I unironic, I kiss her feet, bro. I do. Because I love her. If you don't love your girl's feet, what are you doing? People tell me, oh, Red, you have a foot fetish. No, I don't. I have an Allie fetish.
I just love every part of her.
Yeah. Exactly. And she'll be home in like 10 minutes, and I can confirm. I'll be like, Allie, tell the crowd that I respect you and I don't womanize you. All right. Foodie time?
Yeah, I think that's it for Cottery.
You want me to start with Foodie or you?
Yeah, I'll let you start because I know you like love her. Yeah.
I do. Okay, so when she first was introduced, she was like one of my favorites. She still is one of my favorites, but other girls have overshadowed her a little bit. She reminds me, I think, out of all of them, the most of Allie. Like my actual girlfriend, right? Because like in terms of, like, super short, super tomboy. I don't remember if this has been confirmed, but she gives me gamer vibes. She's got to be a gamer, right? I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely played like arcade games.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah.
And, but like, even like, I would say one of Allie, if I had to pick a flaw of Allie's, it is that she does get hangry. Like, we'll be driving, and like, if it's been too long she's eaten, like, I'll try to ask her a question, and she'll just either ignore me, or like, get like yelly about it, and then she'll be like a minute later, she'll be like, I'm sorry, I'm very hungry, and I have a headache. So like, and you know what's so cool about this? You remember that chapter where they like dropped all their birthdays?
Yeah.
The foodie girl shares a birthday with Allie.
Ooh.
Isn't that sick? So like,
serendipity.
Exactly. So I have to love her. She's like super similar to my actual girlfriend. You know, she also reminds me, I know you're not a One Piece fan, but she's got the big mom syndrome a little bit, where she's like, she gets so hangry for something that she gets this craving, and her day is ruined until she can have it. And like, her relationship with Rentaro really reminds me of what I like about Komi. What I used to like about Komi until that series really flew the coop and took way too long to fucking wrap up. This series, 100 Girlfriends, is the antidote to Komi. So in Komi, I love the relationship between Komi and Tadano because they feel like a really believable couple, because Tadano kind of gives Komi exactly what she needs out of a relationship. Tadano is like the only person who can like understand her. Like, most people have such a hard time understanding her because she's got the same thing Shizuka's got. She can't communicate, you know? She can't talk. So but Tadano has this like almost supernatural ability to understand what she's saying, like, flawlessly. So like that, I mean, you can imagine if you had like a communication like issue, and like there's this really dreamy guy who's like flawlessly good at understanding what you're trying to say. Can you imagine how awesome that would be? Like, as a yeah. So like, imagine that now from the perspective of this foodie girl. If you remember her intro chapter, she's talking about how her life is like ruined. Like her life is awful because she'll go through the day, she'll hear someone mention a food, and then like she also like dissolves food. She digests food quicker than normal too. She gets like, we've seen this, she can eat like an ungodly amount of food. So she'll hear someone mention a donut, and then if she can't go and get a donut, and like if she like until she does, she's gonna be in a grumpy, pissy mood. So in the beginning, we see that she tries to avoid this. She wears headphones because she doesn't want to fucking hear people mention shit. She tries to like not talk to people because she knows she's gonna be grumpy. She tries to avoid even Rentaro when he's being nice. She's like, I can't get involved because I'm gonna snap. I'm gonna be mean to him. And so Rentaro comes in, being one of the only people in the world who could possibly accommodate her, let's be honest here, disability, essentially, to a flawless degree, because he is just that good of a boyfriend. And now that's amplified even better with the fact that there's like 30 girls, because the vibe you get, because you'll see this in the background of new chapters, she'll like be hungry for something, and then like one of the girls will reach into their bag and like toss it to her. So like, her character is one of my favorite examples of how they all help each other to deal with their little disabilities and eccentricities and quirks. Every girl now knows that she has this problem, so I get my personal headcanon is that every girl comes in with just a range of obscure foods in their bag, and then whenever like they notice her like craving something, it's like, all right, who's got the fucking rice bun with something
Right.
sauce. Oh, me over here. Okay, got it. And they toss it to her, and they're like, yay! Like, I just think that's so wholesome that they're like prepared to deal with her shit. And like, never before in her life has she been able to walk through her day being as happy as she is. Because again, her thing kind of reminds me of the tsundere, where like when she's not afflicted with that issue, she's really kind, really sweet, really, look at her bubbly, happy face when she's eating. Mm-hmm. That's who she is. That's who her real self is. But she can't be that until her hunger is taken care of. So imagine how much happier, less depressed, less sad, less angry she is because she's in Rentaro's family now. And that makes me so happy for her. And I love that. So in recap, the foodie shit, I think, interacts super well with Rentaro and Rentaro's family, but as on a personal level, I'm obsessed with tomboys and short girls. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, one of the things I found really interesting when she first appeared, I think she was like the first girlfriend to be like really kind of like opposed to to joining the Rentaro family. She was like, I'm not going to be part of your little group, whatever. Obviously that was because he was afraid, like you said, he was afraid that she would, not fit in. And he basically had like, this self-fulfilling prophecy where she didn't, like she expected it, they wouldn't like her, so she acted even more bitchy than she needed to, which caused people to not like her. But obviously they had that the big food wars arc, basically, where they had that cute bunny girl that everyone
she
in the community
is
was like, I want to see. She needs to become a girlfriend, but yeah, anyway.
She's a little girl. She's a tiny girl, and she ate more than a guy who was cheating by having like a fucking gallon drum under his shirt. It's insane. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I find that kind of hot. Like, she can pack it away and remain, like, she's just got the metabolism of the gods. That's fucking, in the same way, again, if you've, unfortunately now, the vibe's different now, because we got confirmed. So, there's a character in One Piece who, like, has the ability, she's got the fucking Kusari scientist thing happening, where she can, like, change her age around. But we never knew what her real age was. So the first time we see her, she's in an adult body. So we assumed for years she was an adult.
I've heard of it.
But recently she was confirmed to be like 11 or something. So I used to find this character very hot, again, in her adult body. But now it's, the vibe's changed. But when she first showed up, she's like just packing away pizza and fried chicken. And she's just like kicking the table. And I'm like, yes.
Okay, now, yes. I mean, now, for me, Kurumi is not really that special. I mean, I definitely like that recent chapter where we went to
the Disney World chapter is so good.
Yeah, I love her fit. Like, I mean, her fit. I mean, the fits are always good, but I mean, I do love that like asymmetrical hair length that Kurumi does, and I mean, even the headphones around her neck is a very
yes.
I do love that aesthetic.
She would shop at like Hot Topic.
Yeah. Because
like that's the kind of that's we've talked about this before, but something I love about the way he writes characters is like he doesn't just like be like, okay, this is their funny little shtick, and then that's the entirety of their character, right? Too many shows would make her entire character, she's the foodie. But she's the foodie. That's one of the things about her, but then you get all these other things about her. She likes music. She likes gaming. Mm-hmm. She's, she wears hoodies. She's clearly into you can make all these inferences about her because she feels like a real person. Like, she's definitely shopping at Hot Topic. She's definitely, I think like she shows excitement about like going to movies. Like, oh, you guys are going to see this movie? I want to see that movie. Like, they all have stuff beyond their weird thing because they feel like real people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I also noticed. I mean, because she does have like insecurity about her, about her food, hangry issues. And I mean, I remember seeing that in the wedding chapter where like she gets what was it like? She gets like first place in just like all the other girls. She got first place, and she was so genuinely like happy. I was like, oh, I didn't know Kumi could make that kind of expression. That did definitely like change, I guess, my like impression of her, like made me, well, I don't know if it made me like her more, but it definitely expanded my perspective on okay, she's not just like standoffish, but then food brings out her like cute side. She does have like this like I don't know, like words, something.
No, you're totally right. I mean, like, that's kind of what I'm saying is that, like, she and all the other, like, I don't even look at it as just, like, it's her cute side. I look at it as an inability to be happy until she, you know what, to me it feels like almost like a bipolar disorder, right? Where she, I don't know, like, have you ever, I mean, I'm sure we've all had this where it's just like, for what you wake up one morning and for whatever reason you just feel like, oh, I'm grumpy today, right?
Yeah.
And like, you know, you're being snippy with people even though you don't mean to. And for her, it's just, if she's hungry, that kind of comes out of her. So to me, there's like, it's in the same way for Karine, there's this like tragedy of like, she wants to be nice, she wants to be chill, but like, she can't, but now she can because she's got this solution to her seemingly impossible problem. And I love that. I think that's wholesome. So for me, I think in the beginning she was S. Now I think she'd be high A because other girls have eclipsed her so much for me. But yeah, so for me she'd be like high A. What about you?
For me, I think she would be probably above Kusari, like in C tier.
Damn, boy.
Yeah.
That hurts. And then for me, honestly, dude, for me, that's a soulmate. I'll feed her. Because I also, you know what makes it even better for me, too? I love cooking. I cook for Allie all the time. I'm, like, cooking, like, 5 times out of, like, 7, I'm the one cooking in the house, and I fucking love it. So, like, I would, you have any idea how much it would feed my soul to, like, cook up a meal for her and give it to her and see her, like happy face? Oh.
Yeah, that her happy face is, like, it is immaculate.
So yeah, for me that's soulmate material because again, she reminds me quite a bit of my actual girlfriend. So yeah, but this is your list. So what are you thinking?
Now, I guess in a similar way that like for you, self-awareness is a really big deal. Self-control for me is kind of also like a big deal, especially in the beginning. Like I imagine, like, or rather, in a situation where I met Kurumi not knowing anything about her, I probably would like assume that like I'd be annoyed by the way she gets so snippy, like quote unquote, just because she's hungry. But then seeing just how much it bothers her, that probably would, like, give me pause and like, okay, maybe I judge this person too quickly.
I agree. But like to me, just like Karine, it feels like she's like getting better about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I guess, yeah, for me, it would all be about, like, the level of which that she can kind of, like, because everyone has those kind of flaws, right? Like a healthy relationship, like, like Allie will come home and maybe tell me like, hey, today I'm kind of feeling a little overstimulated, or like, I'm just going to go and chill and like decompress from work for like an hour because I'm worried that if I hang out here now, I'll be like grumpy. You know what I mean? So like if she can
it's not like I don't ever, like, it's not like I have perfect self-control.
Oh,
right?
definitely.
I think it's coming from a similar place of like where I guess my like non-onus is coming from, where it's like being very, like, I guess almost like inhibited to, self-restrained or whatever. There's still like parts of me that like value that kind of like what I at the time called self-control, but now looking back, and is more like self-chaining or whatever. But
I see what you mean. So there's parts of you that are very like you wouldn't like outbursts, and you wouldn't like, you want someone to kind of feel very controlled and measured, and to me, I think the determining factor would be if she can like communicate it well, like what we talked about earlier.
She can do that.
The self-reflection, right? If she can come home and be like, hey, I'm kind of grumpy right now. I'm super hangry for this specific thing. And then I'll be like, oh, I'll go get it. As long as she's able to like be aware of it, and then like kind of just like, oh, okay, it's quiet time for her right now. But then once we eat dinner, she's gonna be super happy. I'm fine with that. But if she's like being a bitch to me and like yelling at me all the time, then no. But I don't get that vibe from her. I just kind of get the vibe that she, especially in like recent chapters, I feel like she's kind of evolved to like, I'm just going to be quiet in the corner until I get my fix. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's fine. Yeah. So for the most part, I look at it as like a charming, cute little thing, like when, in fact, this reminds me of one of the chapters I really liked, where Rentaro went on a date with all of the girls that could be considered tsundere. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So it's like Karine, it's her, it's the foodie, and then it's the second maid, I think. Does that sound? Yeah. Was there any more, or was it just them?
I think it was just those three.
Yeah. So and then there's a moment, and I think there's a moment, and I think that this like completely encapsulates how I feel about her. Where she, you know, the other two are being like mega tsundere and crazy, and it's kind of the foodie that's like taking the helm of leadership, where she's like, okay, guys, like, because none of the other two can like even say what they want to do, because they're like, well, I would do that, but they're both just being insane. You know, like Karane's like, well, I'm not saying I want to do that, and then the second maid's like, well, I would only want to do that with you know, my sister or whatever, and whereas she is like, okay, guys, we'll go do this, and then in her head, I will never forget this line. In her head, she's like, geez, compared to these two, I seem almost reasonable. Yeah. So she's like, to me, she's like the reasonable tsundere. She's like if we're looking at spectrum of acceptable normal tsunderes, like she's like kind of in the normal zone of like a real human, and that's kind of what makes me like her. Yeah. But yeah, so I think for me she's soulmate. What would she be for you?
Well, I think the determining factor is I'm just not a food person. Like for me, food is just. I make sure I eat food that I like, but food for me is kind of just something I have to do to survive. Like I'm very much.
Wow, you are nano, dude. You're fucking nano.
Yeah, that's insane. If there were food pills that you could eat and they would actually like filled you up, like I would probably be doing that like half the time.
This sounds like a sponsor, but you know what I use, because like I get hungry lunch and dinner, but I don't get hungry breakfast. I fuck with Huel. Have you ever heard of Huel? Huel.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
It's like meal replacement shakes. They don't expect them to taste amazing or anything, but they don't taste bad, and it's like got all the nutrition you need. And I do that in the morning when I need to eat something, but I'm not in the mood to eat anything. So there's plenty. There is stuff like that exists for you if you just want to fucking suck a shake down. But yeah, so what did you say she would be on
probably this? Friend zone. Like I don't think we would get, because I mean food is such a big part of our life, and food is such a small part of our life. I don't think the compatibility would be there.
Oh, sorry, hold on. Allie's here. It was already unlocked. You relocked it. Say, Allie, come here and say hi to the stream. There's only like 2 people watching. Don't worry. Don't feel nervous.
Hi.
Hello.
Do you want to do a quick woman opinion hour? I've been really excited to do the woman opinion corner.
Sure.
Real life woman opinion. Okay. So this is a perfect timing too, because we actually just finished like the season 1 girls, and we just got onto the foodies. So you can give your quick opinions of everyone. Okay. All right. You chill with that, Rios?
Oh yeah, no problem.
Good. I wouldn't want you to deny a woman her opinion. All right. So, opinion on Hakari.
She's my favorite.
So far, because she's only seen season 1, she's her favorite.
Yeah, I love her. She's so cute and me-coded.
You're a perfect combination between Pinky and Foodie.
Yeah.
I mean, she is a very cool character.
Yeah, I love her energy.
What about her ass mole?
It's so cute!
It's so sad.
I love it when I pointed that out for the first time. It was so cute.
Okay, and then how are we feeling about Tsundere? She's been growing on me.
I like her, but not as much as Pinky.
You wait.
Yeah.
Just wait until you see more. Okay. You know what we haven't discussed yet, and now that you're here, we can. Here, I wish you could hear Ryan. I'll just transcribe if Ryan says anything. I got you in headphones, so if you say something, I'll just tell her. We have to talk about. Did you watch the dub or the sub, Rios?
I watched the sub.
You watched the sub?
Yes.
Loser. Can I tell you why? Because you missed out on the best localization I've ever heard in my entire life. Ooh, Allie's like laughing her head off right now because she knows what I'm talking. Are you ready for this?
All right.
Okay. I'm so happy I get to tell you this. Okay, so remember that in the very first episode where Pinky and Karane are like searching in the clover field for like a special clover or whatever, right? You remember that?
Yeah.
And then I assumed the subtitles was when he's like, oh, well, why are you down here looking? And then she says something like, oh, I was just looking for a place to go to the bathroom. You remember that?
Yeah.
In the dub, they have her say, well, I was just looking for a place to blast out a piss.
What? That was the best line read ever.
And yet you need to go listen to it, because the way she says it, she's like, no, I was just looking for a place to blast out a piss. Yeah. And like, I think the reason that they had her say it like that was to convey that she kind of speaks in like vulgar, like she's very vulgar, very mannish boy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I just, to me, that was like such an instant, like, it's like a vocal stim for Allie and I. Like very often we'll be like, I'm just looking for a place to blast out a piss. So yeah, at some point I'll have to get that up and show that to you. Okay, how do you feel about Bookworm?
She's very cute. I like her a lot.
I was telling Rios earlier about how you were like kind of decrying her disability and making fun of her, and then once it got to the part where it showed her mom like beating her.
Yeah, that's like, damn. I mean, I can't define myself.
She's like fidgeting and all. Oh my god.
No, I mean she definitely grew on me for sure. I think that the actual trauma.
Especially once you get to the later chapters where it explores that.
Yeah. Because, I mean, she's kind of introduced, like, you don't know she has got, like, a horrible stutter at first.
Yeah,
It just seems like she's really shy.
Yeah, so for that, to be fair to Allie, that was kind of her thing, was like, okay, but she would have to get over that eventually.
Yeah.
Doing the same thing her mom did, but yeah, she didn't know, I guess, that it was, like, an actual, like, straight-up disability. But yeah, for me too, we were talking about this earlier, I find, she's like straight average for me. Like, and this is his list, by the way, not mine. For me, Foodie is up in like S or A. Mm-hmm. And then I guess, Nano. Efficiency girl. So he really likes Nano, so you're about to insult.
Yeah.
No, she's very cute. I think she's a little too close to Comey. In appearance.
She's designed like Comey too.
Yeah, she feels like a Comey clone in terms of looks and kind of attitude, but not quite. I don't know.
He likes her because he talks about how like when he was young, he kind of had that issue of like everything was like calculations and efficiency to him, and he was like he couldn't like go with the flow in like social situations, so he related to that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, I definitely like if I were to go on like a date with her, it would be very like, okay, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do this. Like that'd be very nice.
Oh, you like that?
I do.
No,
I do.
See,
yeah.
I like go with the flow on vacations.
I get so stressed out though.
Boo. I want a loose plan. Like here's the stuff, but if we don't get to it, that's fine.
I guess that depends on like what kind of date or vacation it is. Like if we're camping, then yeah, just kind of chilling, doing whatever is around town. But if it's like when we go to the aquarium, I like to we're gonna go this place.
But
this
you
place,
wouldn't
this
be
place.
like, we're gonna spend 10 minutes in this room,
no,
and then 10, because that's what she does.
No,
like you haven't seen this yet, but there's a chapter where they're like lantern viewing, and she's like, okay, for 30 seconds we'll be looking at this one, and then all the other girls are like actually confront her, and they're like, you're kind of ruining this actually, and then she has to learn that like, oh, that's not, because from her perspective she was like, oh, I want to see as many things as possible with the people I love, and then from there it's like, but I'm trying to relax here. Okay, and then of course the mom. I know Allie has a lot of thoughts on the mom.
Shit tier.
Let's hear.
Awful. I hate her. I really hate that she and her parents allowed her to have a fucking child at 13.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
The fact that it was a deceased boy really did not like. That was very weird. The dad ghost.
Ghosts exist in this world. Yeah, dude. We were talking about, because like one of the saving graces for her character, at least in terms of like making her interesting for me, is that kind of like, and again we clarified like this is not a real thing, this doesn't exist, but that trans age shit going on with her.
Oh yeah.
Where like it's so obvious that she like feels like she missed out on her childhood.
Oh for sure. I can definitely understand. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
definitely understand and kind of relate to that, because like growing up the way I did, I didn't really get to have like a, I guess, traditional like childhood.
Yeah.
And I definitely like miss parts where I'd be like, oh, I wish I could be like this age again and experience this, but
she just takes it to an illegal
yeah.
degree.
Okay,
Yes.
but the babies, I do like the babies. That she likes the babies.
Oh, when they turn into babies?
Yeah, when they turn into babies, I can relate to her on that level, and that's about it.
You wouldn't then take it to like suck on my
No,
titties.
no, I wouldn't. Like even the Kendall girl, she's a little weird.
Yeah, I showed her.
Yeah.
I showed her the moment where the Kendo girl thing happened. Yeah, I had to. Wow. Oh, well, thank you for that rousing woman opinion corner.
You're welcome.
We gotta get those woman viewership numbers up on this channel, and you're really helping with that. I appreciate that.
Of course.
All right, back to the kitchen with you. I'm kidding. Love you.
Me too.
All right, have fun. So you got to get yourself a girlfriend who's down with the jokes like that, bro. Those are the best type. All right. I feel like I'm
Now
going.
we're.
What's up? Oh no,
now we're on to the maid. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, so for me,
you're a certified maid hater. Is that what you think of that at one point?
I am a maid hater. Yes. Here, hold on, wait. Let me quickly respond to Luke. Luke's been absolutely fucking destroying the chat. So let me just quickly. Okay, Luke says, "Mommy is low C tier for me." Yeah, that's fair. She's kind of lowish for me. Mommy's the only character to get her own ending song. That was very funny. The anime cooked with that. She literally bought the whole school just to be close to Rentaro. Begs the question, how rich is she? Oh yeah, she's got to be like approaching Tony Stark rich, right? I mean, like she's like ordering entire buildings and shit sometimes.
I mean, didn't they literally buy a Tony Stark like glove at one point?
I don't remember.
Like an Iron Man glove. It was like something to do with like the maid, I think. But it was wild as everything in the series is.
Yeah, straight up. I mean, she's just like infinite money corner for whatever antics they want. Remember the lie? Oh yeah, she had a lie detector test chair. That's a good point. Where did she get that? Rentaro even questioned the actual magazine about the cousin. Oh yeah, we'll get to that. Let's not forget Red, the fourth wall in the series is as stable as any government right now. True. Kumari would be Luffy's ideal person to start a family with. Oh yeah, we can eat together. Yeah. But someone's got to be the cook though, because neither one of them can cook well. It's gonna be me, Kumari, and Sanji, and Sanji's gonna be our professional chef, and he's gonna be in the kitchen cooking endlessly for us. All right, let's see. Are we prepared to see Kumari in season 2? I am. I'm so excited. Kumari, A tier, and Playmate. I mean, she'd be so much fun. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's true. She would be kind of fun. She'd be fun to just like go to like food festivals with. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, cause I love hanging out with people that get really excited about stuff. Like, to me, there's nothing more deflating than like taking someone to an event and then they're just like, and you're like, you having fun? And they're like, yeah, it's cool. You know, like that is such a like mood killer for me. But like how she was at Disney where she's like, yes, I'm so excited to try this. That is like everything. Like I love hanging out with Allie when like she's super excited about stuff. I like to bring her to the aquarium. She's super into like marine life, and she loves like where you can go and like pet the sturgeons and you can just you see her eyes light up, and like that's truly, I mean, that's one of the things I love about this series is like Rentaro has this like true undying love for his girlfriends, and like he's not just like, oh, they're pretty, oh, I want to kiss and make out and fuck them. Like no, like he actually is like he lives for the moment where their eyes light up with excitement and joy and happiness, and that's like a true good boyfriend. Like that's what you should do when you love someone. So love that. And then he says, don't mention localization on the internet. Yeah, fuck those people, man. Like, and anyone who's saying I want AI to do it instead, like, actually die. Like, what are you talking? Like, you don't deserve art.
I mean, as somebody who went into software engineering, those people who want to push AI on every single issue are the most annoying motherfuckers. Like, it has its use cases, but the use cases is not every single like job.
And it's definitely not art. It should never be art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's also no coincidence that the same people who are like knob-slobbing AI are like the crypto dudes. It's always like the weirdest motherfuckers. The people who are into NFTs.
Looking for solutions without problems or something like that. Like they're trying to make up problems for their solutions.
They look for hopium in their sad lives in technology. I think they want like tech to come and save them. But anyway, maid time. Yeah, I'm a certified maid hater. I'll say it. It's just a boring trope to me. Maybe it's because I'm just super woke and progressive and I don't want a woman serving me. That's weird. I'd rather serve a woman, actually. That's right. Based card.
Yeah, you seem to be on the red line. I love maids, but I'm not. I mean, for me, maids are okay. I mean, it's just more like the general trope of liking someone who's getting a well-dressed, well-fitted like suit or uniform, and a maid uniform is just among that.
There are uniforms I like, but I guess I don't even think the maid uniform is cute. Like I guess I'm. I mean,
like as long as it's just like it's a competently put together like ensemble. Like I like that. And
you know what I'm super into, like outfit wise, skirts, dresses, mini skirts. I'm a big because normally I'm like a tomboy guy. Like I like a girl who's just like t-shirt, jeans, t-shirt, pants, shorts, whatever, hoodie. But when I want to dabble in a little like feminine clothing, skirt, dress, ooh,
yeah.
And like in terms of like hentai, a good upskirt shot, excellent.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's what makes me like skirts so much. Is just like. It's like, and of course, this is only with like your loved one in the privacy of your own home. I'm not doing this to like women on the street, but like if
you walk up the stairs, one's like
exactly, yeah, that's what skirts within the confines of your own home with your loved one. You get a little look-see. Oh my god, life changing.
There was that moment where Shizuka got an upskirt of the maid. Remember that?
That's true. You know what? I guess it is kind of like a dress, but maybe I'm more of a skirt guy. It's got to be a little shorter for me. Just to titillate my senses. But no, I mean, it's also, I think it's like, I don't really like the whole, like, the woman serving me thing. Not even, like, memeing. I'm not doing the whole,
Yeah, for me, that doesn't really do anything for me.
Yeah, me either.
Either.
But then beyond that, I also don't really like the attitude of the maid, right? Like, the very professional, like, how quaint, let me pour you a cup of tea. I prefer a lot more casual, a lot more energetic, emotionally varied people. You know what I mean? Like, over, like, the super soft-spoken yada yada yada. Now this maid has, much like every other character, it's not just that they're a maid, they have a lot of other things going for them. They have the weird rainbow eyes, which is so out of pocket and random. And they have that, and they have like these faces that they'll make when shit gets real, where they're like, they open their eyes and they're like, and their obsession with Hahari, like there's a lot of funny things about them. They're a fine character, but like as the girls go, not even interested. As characters go, they're like just barely all right for me, but they're always one that like anytime there's like a focus chapter on the maid, it's like one of those ones where like, okay, I gotta slog through this chapter because I don't really care, you know what I mean? So she'd be like D tier for me.
So for me, I guess my interest in maids is a bit more like rather than being like a personal like or dislike, it's like this, like I'm the kind of person who really what's the word, like thinks, or I don't know, like my natural inclination thinks like life is about living your own goals and like self-determination. So like maids always were like kind of like the exact opposite of that, and especially when I was younger, I don't know, I guess like because like the character arc for maid is almost always like they start out being super subservient, and then like as they progress their character arc, they become more, they learn to value themselves and their own personal goals, and so that's always kind of like, as someone who really values that.
Yeah, you like that character arc, yeah.
Yes.
And we do see that. We see that happening very slowly with her. Like, there are moments where it's like, yeah, but what do you want to do? Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah, but interestingly, as I got older, I guess I began to understand that, like, there are people out there who really genuinely love serving people. That is actually their goal. Like, that, their character arc is not, learning to grow past that. It's like learning to, I guess, I don't know, just what's the word? Integrate that in a more healthy way. Like similar to how me being very self-determined. Like you can't go too far with that self-determined. Like that's definitely part of why I was so nano-coded. Like I was so focused on my own personal goals. I like anything that didn't, obviously relate to or conducive was like, oh, that's unrelated to me. Get it out of my face. It's a distraction. So I don't know. I guess like for me, it's kind of like seeing the like other end of the spectrum of myself and being like oh, this is like there is value in being that sort of like more other focused, other oriented like personality, and seeing it being modeled in another person. I don't know, it helps me kind of like keep myself in like, I don't know, keep things in perspective. So I mean, I don't know, like there's a very, I don't know, I guess like it's like it's so interesting how like enmeshed, I guess, this character archetype happened to be, just because of my personality. So this happened to be like diametrically opposed to it, and I've kind of like grown to like realize, oh, okay, look, because I realized over the course of this arc that, or when I say arc, over the course of reading 100 Girlfriends, that
This arc in your life.
Yeah, me and these type of characters not so different. Like it's just we're both single-mindedly focused on one thing. It's just the maid type people, they're focused more other focused. And like me type people are more like self-focused, more personal.
Oh, yeah, like
our personal. And it's so interesting to learn that about myself through this mangas.
I can totally understand that perspective because, like, you know, when you love someone enough, there is absolutely satisfaction in like serving them. Like I said, like I love cooking for Allie, and I love, I don't know, like planning trips for her and taking her places, and you know, just because. But to me, the serving itself wouldn't do it. It would be seeing the reaction, right? Like so, I wouldn't like it. I would never get any happiness out of serving someone if they were the type that were like, good job, slave, continue. It would have to be like, I'd have to see the joy in their face and the happiness and the appreciation. That's what it would. So as long as, like, I get that for sure, you know. But yeah, for me, she's just kind of a boring character, but I totally get your points. Where would you put her on the list?
Probably between Kurumi and Kusuri. So like C.
All right. Respectable. Now listen, I know that you're not the type to hate characters, but I bet I don't want to see no D and no F on your entire list.
I literally thought of like maybe, but I don't think.
There's got to be at least one or two where you're like, this one's the least good.
I think we might have to like recalibrate it like once we get, and like figure like
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, this is not the final. This is more like we're getting the preliminary like rankings up, and then we're gonna start like recalibrating things at the end.
All right, sounds good.
Sort of thing.
So and then where would she be on your other one here?
I mean, I think Helpmate is certainly like the obvious choice, but I don't know if because I mean, like I personally do not like
But you wouldn't want to marry a maid, would you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want someone who's
in my mind, we're talking families. She's the perfect family zone. She's like your mom, like fucking cooking your nuggies for you.
Oh my god, yeah, I can see that.
It's up to you.
I mean, because I like doing things myself, but yeah.
Right, but I genuinely think that she's like the perfect choice for that because like to me it would be hard to be friends with someone who feels the need to like serve you or like to like definitely do your laundry for you and stuff. But if it's like your sister or your mom doing your laundry for you, that feels like a little less weird, I guess, to me.
Yeah, because I wasn't. Yeah, when you brought up like that, it definitely family zone feels like the place for her.
Sure, let's do it.
We put it that way. Yeah.
Okay, I think what we'll do here is we'll do Iku, and then I'm gonna have to dip for today, and then we can finish this tomorrow. Does that sound good?
Oh yeah, that works for me too.
Right, cool. And then tomorrow will be a much longer one as well. We'll start earlier, and it'll go like probably like 5 hours.
Yeah, unless it's more technical, but I don't think that.
No, I think we've fucking nailed through it. Thank God. Okay, Iku. Instant S tier, and I need to know if you agree or not. It's okay if you don't. I just need to know.
Not S tier.
No!
Because what is it? Tomboy girls don't really do it for me. I mean, I don't hate them, but they don't.
We can't be friends.
Like,
leave.
They don't rock my dollies the way they do you.
Oh, they rustle my jimmies, brother. Okay, well, let me cook for a second. Okay?
But I do love her gag and the way she like anytime other characters are getting some sort of punishment, she's always backing like.
Okay, so yeah, it's everything, right? Her gag is amazing, but also like we've talked about like what we find like attractive about a woman before, right? And about any person. I'm bisexual, so this goes for men. All this goes for men too. But like specifically, like something I find really attractive about people, like we mentioned earlier, is like a talent, a skill, determination, like it's just super attractive feature about a person. If you're dating someone and they're like super into, I don't know, like their like band or music club or playing an instrument and they like practice it and they do little shows, it's like, oh, that's so cool. And for her, it's like, oh, she's on the baseball club and she takes it super seriously and she trains and for me, as someone who's struggled with fitness, I've been fit and then I've not been fit. To me, someone who's like super fit and like takes care of their body, that's like a super attractive trait. You gotta feel me on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and like so like her being like super strong and super like in shape and like wanting to like do morning runs. I feel like if I was with her, she would like hold me accountable. She'd be really good for my health because she would like convince me to go on like runs with her and shit. And what else was I gonna say? And I really like that, you know, her gag, while ridiculous, it's explained in a way that that makes sense to me, right? Where like when she was young, she got in her head that like that she took that no pain no gain thing super seriously. Like in her head, she took that like saying that people say and took it to mean, okay, if no pain no gain means what it means, then what that means is if I'm feeling the most pain, that means I'm getting the most gain. For her, pain means I'm improving as a person every time I feel pain. It's like that Markiplier meme. I don't know if you ever watched Markiplier, but there's a meme about him being a masochist because he wants to test how well his body can handle things, right? And like, so I actually do totally get that mentality because as someone like I'm lucky in this regard. Some people don't feel this. I do, right? When I work out, it feels good. Are you a workout guy? Do you like lift weights or run?
When I was in college, I worked out, but obviously the pandemic kind of screwed that up. And I haven't really been able to get back. That's why I have the time to do it.
Do you understand the like that good burn, like when it's like a good burn, like it feels kind of
yes.
Yeah. So like I've talked to people
like feeling like you feel your muscles, working. It is very nice. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's like. It's something that when I was younger, I couldn't understand. I was like, oh, but pain's pain and not pain is, of course, better. But like when
it's crazy to think there's such a thing as good pain and bad pain.
It is crazy, right? And like it's kind of like if you think of like real bad, like persisting joint pain, that shit sucks. But like a burn in your legs after running a mile, there's something like satisfying about it. It feels good. So I actually totally get her. She just takes that to like an extreme. And like I think one of the reasons I like this series so much is that something in when I was young I was diagnosed with OCD, and one of the things that OCD does for me is it makes me love extremes. I've always been like, if I get into something, I'm obsessed with it. I can't just like casually watch a show. I got to know everything about it. You know what I mean? And so like I've also always, even in hentai, I've always enjoyed extremes. I'm looking up like big dick, large insertion. I'm looking up like 24-hour sex marathon. You know what I mean? I've just always enjoyed that in my fiction and in real life. So like I really enjoy these characters that like have like a quirk, but they're like the extreme of it. So like I find that all attractive. And then all of that isn't even mentioning the way that like her mentality, her like workout regimen, her mentality on like how to improve as a person factors over into her kink life. Because like she loves pain, she considers it a good thing. So imagine her in bed.
That would be crazy. That would be a wild night. Yeah.
Incredible.
That would actually break the bed. Like they probably like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, and she would. I mean, like she's the kind of girl that I think would want you to attempt, like, to fist her at some point. Like that'd be like a goal for her. Like I can take it. I can take it. I fucking love that, dude. I mean, she's such a freak in every way possible that I love. So for me, peak S tier on every regard. And she's soulmate for me, straight up. But that's me.
Oh.
Go ahead for you.
Yeah.
She's like top 5 girls for me, like straight, like honestly.
For me, I don't know if I have that much to say about her. I mean, she's a really good example of what's called Goodhart's law, where you take a measure and turn it into a target. Like I mean, like you said, she took the measure of pain and no pain again and turned it into a target. Where like, to the extent that you are in pain, that's like the extent that you've, you made effort. But yeah, aside from that, I mean, I did love the I guess the ensemble arc that followed her, where they follow her introduction, where they go to the baseball like arc, and I love that freaking like Super Saiyan like I mean, they look wild in that the ending thing, but. I don't know if I have too much to say about.
No, that's fair. She's not your cup of tea. I get it. I will say too, something else I want to mention is I've always loved like gender dysphoria stories and stuff, and so like her like lack of self-confidence about not being girly enough. I've always loved that kind of trope because I'm the kind of guy who would be like, dude, are you kidding me? Your androgyny is like makes you like 10 times hotter. You know what I like for anytime I see a story like that where they're like and like her actually like going out of her way to try to like wear like she breaks out her like the one dress she owns, you know, and it's like, well, I gotta be girly for her, and it's like, no girl, you don't. He loves you the way you are. And I fucking love stories like that. So
yeah, I do think she's pretty regardless of whether she's for more boyish fits or whether she's trying to be girly.
But it's not even just about how she looks. It's like how I don't know. It's just her personality. Like
I respect her, but I feel like she's too much. I guess I would I'd be like please,
I feel you. You're not willing to smack the shit out of a girl that wants it. Is what I'm hearing. That's okay. Some people can't do it.
In bed, I can do something like that. But I'm more talking about like you said, like getting out in the bed in the morning to run like a 50K, or like I mean like I can do these sort of things, but I cannot do them to the level that you want to.
Let me clarify. So one, I agree in terms of like girls that want to get hit in bed. There is a line for me too. I can smack an ass as hard as you want me to. I can smack your pussy as hard as I want you to. What I cannot do is like hit you in like the face. Like, you know what I would never, because I heard a story. It was one of my best friends, Andrew. He had a manager back when he worked at a movie theater who told a story about a girl he had a one night stand with who was like, as she was like about to come, she was like begging him to like smack her in the face as hard as he could. And he was like, "What the fuck?"
That's too much for me.
Yeah, exactly. That's too much for me too. So that's a no-go. But if it's just like, as far as we can tell, all she ever asks other people to do is ass smacking. You know, I can do an ass that's like a whole. There's a cushion there. I'm not gonna break anything. I can go to town on an ass. You know what I mean?
When it comes to sex, I'm definitely. Yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about when I'm saying like he's too much. I'm talking about like
the mile runs and shit.
Life. It's like, I mean, I appreciate the personal trainer energy, but like I need more like of a low key sort of like let's go, and more like here's here's what we're trying to do, and we can sort of take our time, but.
I feel like the vibe I get from Iku is that she wouldn't like force you to go at her pace.
Yeah, because I remember and. That little like chapter she had with the maid, she does realize that this person, like, people can't handle the level of punishment that I can take.
I think that she would. The vibe I get is that like let's say you guys are running like laps on like a track, like a track, like at school or something.
Yeah.
Like you'd be running at your pace, and she would like be like lapping you 2 or 3 times per lap, but she would like, as she like passed you, she'd be like sweating and like doing her like I'm about to come face, but then she'd check on you. She'd be like, how you doing good? Okay, I'm gonna do another lap, you keep going, you're doing great. Like that's kind of the vibe I get. I don't think she'd try to like make you match her, you know what I mean?
As long as I don't feel like I'm holding her back, I guess it's like that. Yeah.
No, I feel that's a good point. Yeah. No, I think we can make it work. And I know me personally, the type of person I am is that I'm, like we've talked about before, I am not a self-starter. I'm very bad at like holding myself accountable. I need someone to kind of like push me. Every time I've ever evolved as a person, it's because someone pushed me out of my comfort zone and forced me to evolve. And at the time when that's happening, I'm hating it, but I look back and I'm like, I'm glad that happened. And I think Iku would be great for me on that. I think I would lose a bunch of weight, get in shape, because she's kind of like pushing me to do that. And she's super hot, and she's a tomboy, and she wants her ass paddled in bed. So I mean, like, it's just peak on all regards. But for you, give me a letter, give me a fucking zone, and then we'll get out of here for the day.
All right. Well, I hate to end it on this note, but I think she might be first D tier.
That's okay. Hey, man, I'm not gonna be mad. I'm not gonna be mad, but it's crazy how different we are. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Like, you're similar in some aspects, but different in others.
Hey, man, that's crazy. How about, and then are you gonna just be like a friend zone for her?
Yeah, probably friend zone. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so we will pick this up tomorrow, probably around the same time, maybe an hour earlier, maybe like 12 like my time, 11 your time.
Yeah.
So yeah, join us then. We'll pick it up then. And it'll be a much longer stream, and we'll finish up. Yeah. Peace out. Anything? Right. Any final words?
I don't know. I try to be the man that Rentaro. Try to be 1/100th of the man Rentaro is.
That's a good
lovers.
100%. I think we would solve all problems with gender discrimination and like gender politics if every man could be like Rentaro.
Yeah.
All right. Love you, Luke. If you're still watching, thanks for being here.
Yep. Thanks everyone who watched.
Peace out.
All right. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, stream is over. That was good, man. I had a good time.
Yeah.
Lots of funny moments.
Yeah.